Twitch Prime.
Well, well, well. If it isn't my favorite chat room, the one in my stream. Hello to YouTube and Twitch. Whiskey Lima with a big primer. 58 months. Almost, man, you're turning the corner about to collect some Social Security. Just like the default fighter from Catfight.
Twitch Prime.
Am I right, DOSBox enjoyers? Hey, all right. Ogre Refresh plus a character to make you, to take you to Flavor Town. Hell yeah. Once again, apologies for the compressed mic audio. It is summer, and so the temperature is above 59. Can't have that. So we got the AC on. Winter streams are for good audio quality. Speaking of good audio quality, let's talk about some visual quality. Holy shit, he got a light. If you can believe it. It's Friday once again. Solid Singularity, things with a big primer. 15 months, appreciate it. Yeah, CJ, wow. It's upwards of 90 there in Tejas. Oof. Memories, man. I used to live in Tempe, Arizona, which is a growth on part of Phoenix and the other half of Guadalupe. And it would regularly get well over 100 there. One time I went out, I was working at a bank as a proof operator. I went out to my car, you know, it was like 2 p.m. My rear view mirror, you know, the one right there in your car, that shit melted off the windshield and was laying on my dashboard with a trail of goo from one to the other like somebody's custom Tyranid. Melted off. I checked the temp in the car, it was like 126. Humans aren't meant to be there, but they try to be there anyway. And that's what's so powerful. It's about family. It's a dry... Look, it is a dry heat. Being humid, it would feel worse in certain ways. Okay. So if Florida ever gets 126, call me. And I'll be like, dude, that sucks. Worse than a dry heat, right? Somebody else subbed. Oh yeah, I thanked them already. Thanks for the hype train, by the way. Appreciate it. Ogres, my lord? Is this the time? Is it time? Is it finally time for ogres? Your guess is better than mine. Is it one Mega Gargant, some Gutbuster crap, and Beast Claw are left in the dustbin of history, or are we getting a fucking centerpiece? Frost Lord, dude. Please. Anyway, we'll see. If they're really cool, I'll be happy. With a tinge of sadness. Full refresh? Who knows? Zeno, 8655. Thanks for the big primer. Appreciate it. Yeah, I feel like we gotta give it an over tyrant of some sort. That one's a given. And the foot ogres and stuff. Dude, it was 2006 when that shit came out. That's 20 years ago. Pre-end times. We gotta... This is the last army with Finecast. Get that Finecast shit out of here. New Noblar hero? Yeah. Speaking of the dustbin of history, there are some things that deserve to go there. And that is Noblars of all shapes, sizes, and colors. Get them out. Gloomspite Gits. You know? That army? That's for the little snot creatures that look like little triangles. Ogres, big. Get that shit out of here. Oh, I'm sorry. It was 2004. Pardon me. It was the year World of Warcraft released for the first time. Apologies. It's older than that. Well, hey, all right. Also, I got my Burger King crown already. All prepared for the celebration, if there is one. No need to get our hopes up. Your prediction is a full refresh of the core stuff and legendings, stuff like Yeeties, Sabercats, Noblars as a unit, etc. Yeah, my guess is, and this is a guess that I kind of don't want to put out into the universe, but my guess is they're doing kind of an AOSifying of the Ogre faction, and they're like, the Beast Claw half, nah, that it's done. They lost the Civil War. It's just the Gutbuster army now, and they're putting a new spin on it. All the Finecast stuff is gone, and no Frostlord reprints. But they'll, like, keep them around as just sort of a thing you can do in the army, but not upgrade them, and then in addition, from now, they'll quietly retire them forever. We'll see if things are better than that. Because I hope things are better than that, but that's my guess. Yeah, I heard some rumblings about dwarves today as well. And quite possibly Mega Gargant. Hopefully. Please, God. I don't play this army, but I feel for them as a fellow big enjoyer. Get that ale-guzzling man-crusher the fuck out of here. It is the only model worse than the Finecast in Ogres. And that army deserves more than one fucking kit. Well, 1.75 kits because of addition things. Man, they really screwed that up. How about giving them 2 leg positions? You grunts. They got Gloom Star and Ogres. Dumb question. What about Halflings? That is a dumb question. Halflings are stupid. Belong in Middle-earth. I only 65% mean how cruel that sounded, probably to you. But I don't like... Halflings doesn't need to be an army. Too silly, too goofy. The silly stuff in Warhammer needs to have a tinge of terror to it, in my opinion. Halfling as a canonical race that's just chilling in Cities of Sigmar but never really gets a model aside from a pot grot kind of thing. Fine. But, you know, this is endless war we're talking about. I don't mean to come down so hard on it. if you're a Halfling enjoyer. But hey, EverQuest Legends, right around the corner. Halflings enjoy the biggest XP bonus when leveling up. And you got Rivervale over there, here in Home City. And you're so small.
Good job, King.
You're so small that you and gnomes can kind of glitch through walls to see places, and that's kind of nice. B-Monk 100, thanks to the tier 1, 62 months. Perfect streak, holy shit. $62 perfect streaker. God damn.
Twitch Prime.
Joheim Compadres just got done with a morning Gaim session. I think that's how that's pronounced. On my day off, and now for likely underwhelming AOS news. No, we're getting our hopes up this time. Don't worry about it. Shorty Paint Studios' big primer for the 29 months. Here for the Dad Bod Nap God big reveal. Hell yeah. We'll see how big it is. Oh, wait. Do I have a Henya thing? Hold up. Wait a minute. How big it is? Anyway, I don't have it queued up. I got stuff queued up already. Just in case. Hey, just in case the stream sucks. Dude, we're prepared. Okay?
High five and to proven way when the path comes back to light.
We're prepared. Just in case. And if it's super bad, you know, we got picture-in-picture the amazing Captain Plivet watching Kay's cooking and laughing at Glorbos, you know? We're prepared for any sort of entertainment you might be needing if the mainstream kind of drags a little bit, you know.
Big.
Oh, big. Ortorius, thanks for the 202 bits. Can we spin the wheel correctly? You did. You got big. Can't wait for Legion Imperialis news, Kappa. Yeah. I can't wait for Warcry news. Remember that game? I don't mean to... I guess that's kind of also cruel in a certain respect. But over the years, you kind of learn stuff about Games Workshop, and they're random-ass side games. They don't respect them, and so I don't have to respect them. Here today, gone tomorrow. They just don't support them. I wish they would. Well, no, I wish they wouldn't make them at all and focus more on their main games because they're clearly stretched too thin to make those good. Somehow, with that much money. But hey, all right. GW, give me the Frost King on Mountain Horn, and my soul is yours. So what is the Mortal Kombat, right? Your brother's soul is mine. You love Warcry? Once a year, random PDF full of updates, usually late August, early September. Okay, good. Yeah, news from the Warcry front. At least something's happening there, which is nice. Oh, hold on. I'm hearing background noise. And it's before we even get to Pink Girl Chan. However, oh, I still got the ogre on this screen. Oh, shit. Well, here it is. Starting swoon. Where are we putting chat? Is the chat fine here? Or you guys don't actually give a shit, right? If chat is like smaller on the screen. Alright, volume all the way up. This is the beginning of the start. Alright. I'll turn it up if it needs it. Underworlds gives us some great alt models. That is very true, Arterius. And Warcry gave us some really good alternative models as well. And some alternative main models to play with for a little while in STD. They got real creative with the Warcry stuff. Some of it was stupid, I'm going to be honest, but a lot of it was very interesting. And the Underworld stuff was just kind of like a cool upgrade, you know. How's that volume? Is that good for that background music for you guys? Oh, we gotta move that. Hold up, we gotta move that. Alerts. Make alerts bigger and go more towards the center of the screen. Thank you. And well, here I'm moving stuff around. You guys can watch Plibbit for a second. While I shrink chat a little bit. I'm going to shrink chat a little bit, okay, and make it even more impossible to read. Positively impossible to read. Properties. Can I make the background? No, I can't. Okay. Hey, we don't need to hear the butt rock. Yeah, the music, I think the music is a tad loud.
Yeah.
Oh, Plibbit's laughing at Kay. There she
that
is.
says pasta. You're right. That's
God, so entertaining.
pasta.
She's a natural. Anyway, Orterius, thanks for the tier 1 to It's Me Jupes. Oh, Jupes got sniped. Eat shit, bitch. For life. Also, thanks. Anyway, you said the music's a tad loud. I'm going to turn it down to 59%. We'll see. We'll see how it looks when we move into it. More like
Sophisticated.
snore cry. Oh, shit.
Relaxing.
Kind of
Invigorating.
invigorating.
Everybody
Everyone
doesn't appreciate it
the
like
way
we connoisseurs do.
Oh, it's like we connoisseurs do. I haven't heard that in a while because nobody gives me. The donations have slowed down after I stopped making videos and started playing EverQuest. 1,000 pardons, but the game sucks. 5th edition. It'll be just like the old days, I swear. 5th edition, it'll be great. It'll be so good. Ogres will get refreshed. I'll be painting them and stuff. Copium. Gilnir, thanks for the 5 tier 1 subs to HeyWoah's community. TY for the grip, the 5er. Did it land? Did it snipe anyone? Ooh, Vigil Virus got sniped. Wait, Vigil Virus in my chat room? It's equally as likely as you think. Random login name, good one. Euler alert. What about Spearhead? Spearhead is necessary as an on-ramp for new players. Company-wise, you know? But it's just, like, not for me at all. Like, it's okay that things aren't for me, you know? But I do want the game that I like to be for me, if that makes sense. Spearhead is like, it's 1,000 points. There's no list building. Into the trash it goes. If you don't have list building, then you're bad. You're a bad game. I don't care anymore. So, like, yeah, I don't care in any way. It's a fine game, I guess. And community health-wise, it's good to get people into the game like that. But the entire, like, the whole point of Warhammer is how much customization can you do. And in general, the less you can do, the less I like the game. There are limits, but... Counterpoint, no list building in chess? Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yep. You're right. There's no list building in chess. What did HeyWoah mean by this? Spearhead is precons, and precons get people into the proper game. Yeah, conceivably that's the on-ramp. When I was getting into the game, I'm like, I would like to play the game. So I'm going to play test a bunch and figure out what I like the play style of. And then I'm going to buy a 2,000 point army, paint it, and then play the game. And somebody's like, oh, why don't you play 1K first? Why? I'll just... Because the game is 2K, you know. I see no point. What if you don't have time for a full 2K AOS game? Then I'll play EverQuest. Jack the fuck off. I don't care. Like, I'd like to play the game. and I don't want to not play the game, unless the game sucks. All right. It sucks that AOS only finally got a functional new player onboarding format when the game you'd been boarding people onto is the least fun it's ever been. Yeah. Well, you know, 5th edition is going to be great. Copium. Have to be a YouTube viewer because work won't let Twitch through the firewall. Look, the system is working. That means the system works.
Good job.
Streaming to both
King.
places. First time chatter at Sid. My friends and I took your try before you buy advice at TTS and it's been great. Plus playing remote is what we're looking for. Yeah, it's a great feature, that TTS. And word on the street is the official playtesters and designers for AOS in the company, they use TTS to test the game out. So, good enough for them, good enough for me. And, you know, this shit's expensive. You want to make sure that you like the unit before you buy it, that kind of stuff. Routmeyer Rob, things with a tier 2, 63 months. Perfect streako. Holy shit. One more year until AOS is good, and we're counting down the days. Till then, EverQuest Legends and other ASMR content. Yeah, you're right. True. If 5th edition isn't great, I bet 6th will be really great. Exactly. 2030? Dude, 2030? As soon as I start collecting my social security checks, just ship it over to GW for 7th edition AOS. Walkies for another 3 years, yeah. Why don't you play one model each, 1v1, and then buy one model at a time at the True Growth League, yeah. Oh, Pink Lady. You prefer 1K or 1.5 over 2K? Makes list building more of a tight question. I prefer, well, we're just different people. I prefer 3K over 2K. Because unironically, the game is more balanced at 3K. The lower point value you get, the more unbalanced AOS becomes at the seams. But it's not really about balance. It's just about big stuff. Playing everything. 3K are best. You're a growth league, not a show league? Yeah, true. He's hoping they don't care about AOS. I don't think it's big enough to concern themselves with that. I didn't 40K do some copyright stuff with TTS modders, which, once again, they are in their rights to do because it is unequivocally copyright infringement that they simply allow, right? I don't think AOS is big enough to give a shit. And all the designers would find themselves without a place to play test. So sometimes it's nice to be the smaller game, you know what I mean? Also, yeah, I think they do usually, in 40K anyway, I think they cyclically kind of do that. And then the new ones pop back up to replace them, and the cycle of life continues. The 40K modders tried to sell TTS mod packs. Oh, well then you're just being retarded now. Yeah, that's not okay. That's like the thing. That's the one thing. For as much shit as GW gets for being litigious, the poison pill is trying to make money off it. That's the killer. Don't do that. It also gives them a leg to stand on in court, by the way. Because if a person is doing something and no money is being made and they're not trying to sell it, it's sort of like, all right, well, what's your damages? You know? Alebeard, thanks for the tier 1, 55 months. TYVM. What's up, HeyWoah? Have you been grinding the new PoE 2 League? It has consumed me. This is Black as Maximus. No, I'm playing a much older and more embarrassing grind game called EverQuest, but I'm really enjoying PoE 2, and I'm looking forward to release. Also, I'm looking forward to a single weapon set or class that I'm interested in playing, because so far I'm floundering. Two-handed hammers are super not fun to play and slow and bad, and all the skills suck. And shape-shifting druid is like spin 5 plates combo gameplay. Disgusting. I'm trying to click 2 buttons max. This is PoE, you know? No swords yet, no axes yet. I'm kind of a melee guy if you haven't noticed. And monks are hella lame, just thematically, so I don't like it, even though they're very powerful and probably fun to play. So I'm kind of like, I don't know. I played the first several seasons of PoE 2, and I only skipped the most recent one, because I'm like, I think I've tested the game enough. I really like it. It looks like they're adding a bunch of end game that's great. Now I'm just waiting for them to finally make a class without the vision gameplay. Because I'm not digging the vision of melee in PoE 2. The game that was created supposedly so that melee would not suck. And then they made PoE 2 and melee is not fun. Like, hey, alright. Cool. Call me when swords come out. Sorry, Fast already. What is your nightmare scenario for the Ogre refresh?
Good job, kid.
My nightmare scenario is very simple. No centerpiece beast claw unit. That's it. They could do worse things like all of beast claws ignored, only ogres, they look stupid, you know?
Warhammer preview. I am Adam Troke.
Foot hero, like 2 foot heroes or whatever, you know.
Yeah, this is gonna be
There's
a
some
really
bad
cool
stuff
preview.
that
Got
could
some
happen here.
Loads of different game system to show you, loads of Warhammer to talk about. We think about
Um,
90 minutes of stuff. Is that
Yeah,
about right?
should run
I think
to
they
about
should
that
go
long,
up a little
depending
bit.
on
How's
how fast
this?
we talk and how sidetracked we get by all the details. But yeah, for the next hour and a half or so, we're gonna fill the
Hour and a
air
half?
with loads of cool
Big
Warhammer things. We've got things to
stream.
cover from Warhammer 40,000,
Our
Warhammer
first
Age of Sigmar,
loads
Warhammer the
has
Old
hit the
World,
building.
Warhammer Necromunda, Warhammer Blood Bowl,
Good
Warhammer Horus
job,
Heresy,
kid.
and
Tory Kicker 7, thanks for tier
Kill
1.
team.
Warhammer 40,000 Kill Team.
66
So loads
months in a
It's not
row.
every single system that we make. There are a few
Also,
systems we
Kahe. I
couldn't
don't know if
quite
I said that
squeeze in.
before.
So we haven't got any Warcry for you. We haven't got any Underworld.
Or Middle Earth.
We haven't got any Middle Earth. But we'll have stuff on all of those game systems in the not too distant future.
Absolutely. So keep your eyes on Warhammer.
Absolutely.
If you want
Are they
to,
loud
hear
enough?
about the news on
I can
those
turn 'em
as it
up?
happens. Meanwhile, while
I
the
fixed
chat
my
fills
whole
up and we
sound
get ready
system,
to
so I can
kick
turn them
off,
up now.
There's a few things we normally do. The first thing is that we ask people in the chat where you're from. I was looking at the chat as people answered the.
I enjoyed the quiz.
The
That
quiz
good
was fun, right?
Good fun.
Did you get any right?
I
Oh,
got all of them right.
I
obviously,
enjoyed the
Adam, but
quiz.
I did also have
He
my
lied
questions,
as
so,
easily as he lied.
Perfect. I was doing all right myself. And,
Absolutely.
we've got people
That's
from
true.
Texas. There's people from all around the UK, lot from Europe as well. I saw some France and some
All
Germany.
around the
So
ook.
wherever you
Ups.
are in this
All right.
global Warhammer community, welcome to this preview. We're delighted that you would choose to
How's
spend
that?
some time with us.
Yep, absolutely. Are you doing any hobby recently, Adam?
I have. I've found doing hobby a bit hard, been very busy, and also the weather is
been a bit warm, hasn't
anathema
it?
to painting
Yeah.
right now.
It's been
in
a
the
bit
UK. We are getting
warm,
burning
hasn't
naked. But I
Get
have
some
put together
fucking AC,
everything,
mate.
that was on the Space Marine side of my Armageddon box.
Nice.
Including sort of dark angeling, is that a word?
Why not?
The
Yeah,
models
why not?
with some extra details and back banners and things like that. What about you?
Bit of Eldari, painting some of
Bit
them.
toasty in it.
Doing a little bit of Caradrons on my painting table at the moment, and
Did you finish your cog?
I did finish my Cogfort. Yes,
Perfect.
I had a good time with that. I
Actually,
did loads
it
of
was on
hobbies.
Warcom, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Nice.
Perfect sound level. Hell
meanwhile,
yeah.
the other thing I've been doing to fill a little bit of my hobby time is I've been
Hobby
sort of
time?
theory hammering some
Well,
armies.
they're talking about what the
using
fuck
Them
ever.
and his
Okay.
friends hanging
Clip
out
it.
in
What
the
do you got
park,
for
and
it?
then they like
looking at,
shoot each
I
other
saw
with
somebody
Nerf
had
guns.
made a really interesting little video
And he's been
on
doing that for,
Instagram or
like,
somewhere about how
20
you could use the
years.
Fulgurist detachment, which is like land speed eccentric.
They just
so I'm trying
uploaded
to
their
work out
newest
if I can
season
synergize
like
that
last
with
week.
Raven.
back.
It's a very fast moving sort of.
I think it's made me hate him more.
attacking and deep striking and sort of-
Yeah, a lot of people doing Warhammer 40,000 theory.
Yeah, I've been caught up in the wave, I think. What about you?
Yeah,
He's
obviously.
gonna be
I
famous.
think one list for every single faction in 40k.
And you've played your first official game of
I
the new
played
edition.
one game, one official game of the new edition so far with my Eldari.
You're undefeated.
Trust me, this
So
is
far.
This is better.
Gotta love it.
This is better
Right,
than what they're doing
So,
doing?
as we said, we've got loads of things to talk about throughout the course of this preview. Thank you so much for joining us, and we hope you have a nice time. We are going to start off the show by going to the grim darkness of the far future, and we're going to talk about something called Warhammer 40,000. So, here we are with Warhammer 40,000 Armageddon, the launch box, the new edition, sort of out there in the wild. It's worth talking about some of the things that are coming up. And the first thing that we're going to talk about is how new people to Warhammer might get started in the Warhammer 40,000 hobby with some Warhammer 40,000 starter sets. So here is the Warhammer 40,000 starter set.
Please wrap it
Got
up.
one in the flesh. This is an enormous box and is the perfect way if you've never
40K.
played Warhammer 40,000 before and want to
40K
get
is happening.
started to jump straight into the hobby. Eddie, what can you tell us about
Yeah,
it?
so we did know that some of the miniatures from the
Tip
Warhammer
of the
40,000
ribbon, the
Armageddon set
Subway
will be
Surfers
available
way.
in
It's on
other
the starting
sets in
soon
the
screen.
future. This is one of the first places you'll be able to get hold of them. So in this, you effectively have a combat patrol of Space Marines, painted as Ultramarines, but you can paint them whatever color you want. You've also got a combat patrol of Orks. You've also got a battlefield of stuff to play across, and effectively a combat patrol's worth of battlefield terrain for combat.
More
Yeah, absolutely. This is essentially everything you need to get started with your first games of Warhammer 40,000, all in one box. All the models are push fit. The terrain's really easy to put together. It's got the game board and all of the
My wife
pieces,
said mute
pieces
that
marked
shit
out for you
with
to put
her
the terrain on,
eyes.
so you can just play straight out of this box if you want to.
Yeah, it's also got all the rules and stuff in there.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got your core rules and then the sort of the guide for using the models that are in the box. So this is the first of the starter products that we're going to talk about right now, but there's more to come. So what if you wanted to get started
Resident
with Warhammer 40,000,
bleeper.
you don't want the two-player launch set, and you just want maybe a starter set which focuses on one of the factions? Well, this is getting started with Space Marines and is the same combat patrol that you saw in the previous box, and it comes complete with the paints that you would need to do your first paint jobs on these models. I think it's 11 paints in the set, so you can get started right away with
11
the
paints in the
starter.
set.
Yeah,
Two
and this is
pictured.
perfect if you've already got a gaming group. They've already got their box sets. They've split them all up, and you've got an odd number of players. And what if you want Space Marines? You can grab yourself this set and start playing straight away. This is your self-contained little starter set for Space Marines.
It will perhaps surprise nobody to know there is an Ork equivalent of this.
Yes, this is almost exactly the same, but green.
There you go.
So you have the combat patrol for Orks. Then you've got a bunch of variously Orky paints.
Storm
so this is a great
COVID.
little set if you want
Thanks
to
for
kick
the
off
tier
an Ork army.
1
Yeah, and I
gifter
think one of the
onto
things to note,
ATX
you've
Sid,
already
who
said it,
is a
but,
typer.
if you're just looking to sort of
Okay,
join
ATX
in
Sid,
with
they were a
people, maybe
first-time
start
chatter
running
in
armies for the
chat.
first time and you're already in
Not a
Warhammer
robot.
40,000. This really is a
Nice.
great way
SG
to
Arcade
do
thinks
it
it's
because
tier
you get
1,
the
68
painting
months,
start
perfect
the painting
streak.
process too.
Anything
Or if you
yet?
just
We
have
gotta
an
get
Ork army,
we gotta get the
just
Space Marines out of the way.
loads more
Okay.
Orks.
Yeah, no kidding. There's another way to get started as well, which is this introductory set.
gotta
and
get the
I find this
Space
one to be
Marines out of
quite
the way. He
exciting.
said-
You've got
he
some Space Marines
said
and some Orks and some paints.
1.5
and you have a gaming experience,
hours.
But it's really
That's what
sort
he
of first steps into the Warhammer 40,000 gaming and hobby experience.
Gaming.
Yeah, it's a little bit of everything. And the thing that's cool about this to point out is that while the other sets, the miniatures, are
Any
the same ones from
gamers?
the Warhammer 40,000 Armageddon set, these ones are brand new miniatures. So you've got 5 intercessors in there. You've got a Space Marine Lieutenant. It's been like a whole week since we had a new Space Marine Lieutenant.
couldn't have come
had
soon
to have
enough.
one. And then you've got a new unit of Ork Boys. They are.
I'm not
Ork
making fun of
Boys
the
are same
value
kind
in the
of unit
box,
as the
I
ones
just
you
don't
get
care
from
about
Armageddon,
it.
But they've got different poses.
There's the
And
difference.
critically, you've also
GD
got some
Panda,
heavy
big
and special
primer.
weapons
5
in your
Got a big
more
shooter
years.
and a rocket launcher
True.
inside.
Absolutely. So if you want to add in some extra shooting into your
Obey.
big Ork mobs, you can, and all the characters are kind of new poses. as well. So
I think
cool
it's
little
about
set.
time.
I get weirdly excited about all the different poses of intercessors, particularly these sort of push fit ones, because I find them easy to build. And so I'm hoping somebody will split that set with me, Eddie. Just hinting. There you go. We're on. Right. There's also some paint sets. This is the paints and tool set. This would synergize perfectly with that Warhammer 40,000
Perfectly.
starter set where you get the combat patrols. It's got 13 paints, clippers, mold line removing tool, and a brush. Everything you need to get started
Clippers.
with your painting journey. If you've never painted Warhammer models before, this would be a decent pickup.
Yeah, this is a lovely little set. I
Why
started
spend
with
the
a
product if
set
you can't
a
see
lot
the
like
back?
this when I started
It's
playing
called
Warhammer.
production
You
value.
can paint almost anything with this box because you've got all your primary colors and then
called
black
fashion.
and white and your metallics and some really useful little tools. So this is just a really solid base for a paint.
Yeah, absolutely. If you want one a little more themed towards a particular army, you can start with this, which is very much like the set I started.
Yeah, I just don't
painting
think
Warhammer, which was an
Space
Ork
Cast
paint set back in the
Eternals
day.
are gonna
This is
work
boys
out
and
as a
paints,
concept.
so you've got 6 paints and a brush and a couple of Ork
Now,
boys
the
and a
stream, it's
prop.
funny you point that out. I'm sure you know, but
Painting experience and,
Space
so you can get along.
Marines
There's a
were the
Space Marine
copy
equivalent, which is intercessors and paints. Again, 6 paints,
because
brush, and 2
the
Space Marine
first success
intercessors.
was the Chaos
Ooh,
Warrior.
Deep breath. That was a lot of
And
ways
then they're
to
like, let's
start
do it
your
in space.
Warhammer 40,000 experience. And I
And
think it'd
now
be a
it's
good time
40
to,
years
like,
later.
Introduce your friends or
Anyway,
a
good
family
meme.
member or relative or whatever that you want to like.
It's a
Papa
really good
Guian.
time to start playing.
I think it's a tier
40,000.
one
It's a
sub
brand
to
new
100
edition.
Panda
Everyone's
get
kind of in
shit
the same
on
place.
for
Everyone's
life.
learning the rules together.
Well, for a
It's just
month.
the perfect time to hop in.
Nice, I love it. So,
Anyway,
it
Preach.
follows on quite nicely,
G-Well, thanks
because
to
we're gonna
5
talk about some
Canadian dollar
terrain now.
dues
So
on
we've got some
YouTube.
Really interesting terrain kits.
They better
point
preview
out
new
and talk
ogres,
about.
I'm
The
gonna
first
lose
is
50
Combat
bucks.
Patrol Battle Zone. So this
Yeah,
is all of the
well,
terrain you see here.
word is they
in a
are.
box,
We're just
along with the game
wondering
boards and the
to what
tiles
extent.
To, the terrain prints.
Thanks for the
to put the terrain on.
$5. I
This
click
is
like
everything you
because
need
on
in one
YouTube
box
it
to
lets
play
me
a
click
complete
like on
game of Combat
donations.
Patrol.
Yep. And if you've already bought the starter set, if you add this box onto
No
the
one
starter
watching a
set, you
preview
effectively
stream
have
cares about
a
intro
full
sets. That is
board's worth of
astute.
terrain for something like an incursion and
Peanuts.
2,000 point game.
Yeah.
You are
Warhammer
right.
40,000, or in a
And
self-contained
no one
set,
reading their
it
press
is
releases
the
on their
exact right
website
amount of stuff to play Combat Patrol.
Yeah, and worth pointing out, this
cares
this
about
one,
intro sets
this,
either,
like the models
but they
in the starter
type
set,
them
are
with a
unpainted,
voice as if
so
they're
all of
talking
these
to an
terrain
intro
pieces,
set
they come on
looking
the
at
grey plastic that you're
a
familiar with,
14-year-old.
easy to put
And it
together,
is condescending,
paint
and
them
I
in
don't
a
like
colour
it.
scheme that suits your board,
That's how they write their
armies, or
copy.
whatever you would like.
Yeah, this set, Combat Patrol set, comes in around the same price
Holy
as
shit,
a Combat
wrap it
Patrol
up,
itself.
dude.
Perfect. Right. If you want to add more things to it, or you just want to focus
I got little
on,
guys down here.
building a terrain
Doc,
board that suits your own
SJRK,
preferences,
little
we've got a few
CJ.
little terrain sets to talk about. This is the Manufacturer
Let's
Ruins,
react.
which are those
Oh,
sort of
that's-
classic building
that's
shapes you
me.
often see on battlefields.
That's
There's some
me
of these
waiting
in
for
that
the
Combat Patrol
Ogre
set that we
release.
just showed you
Frost
before.
Lord on Mountain Horn,
There's
new
more.
centerpiece.
There's also
when,
the galvanic
dude?
network. This represents those
Sheesh.
power lines and things that run across the sort of ash wastes of Armageddon.
Don't make me bring up
There's a
Plib
wonderful way
again.
to-
I have a
She's
short
watching Kay's cooking.
follow-up
Battlefield.
video, and
And
this
then you've
one
got
actually
the
has
caster
food in
cluster
it.
here, which looks
I
like
don't know
it's
if it's much
writhing
better,
with
though.
electricity. And you've got like a really unfortunate servitor trapped.
Oh,
in
hi,
the console
Kay.
at the front.
My teeth.
Yeah, life's pretty tough
Alright.
for servitors in Warhammer 40,000.
It is. It's not the best. Now, all of that is really exciting terrain. All comes unpainted, and is all coming fairly soon down the pipe.
That's
There's
absolutely true.
something else we need to explain to people that you've already talked about a little bit with Aiden on a video before, right?
That's absolutely right. Currently, all the terrain in my collection is Eddie painted.
Perfect.
Iron Maiden shirt. It's gonna be a good one. I wonder what her son's gonna think about it when he taste tests
This
it.
is the new ready painted Battlefield Armageddon box, and this is everything you need for a full incursion size game of Warhammer 40,000 in one box, and all of the terrain in this comes ready painted and ready to go.
Yeah, the box is enormous. It is jam packed with
box
absolutely
is
loads of
enormous.
fantastic terrain, and we've got one
Ready
here to
painted
open.
terrain,
So what we thought
exclamation
we'd do
point.
is actually just crack one open and build one of the terrain pieces in it,
so
nice and
while-
quickly to show you what it's like.
While
he's
Adam
gonna do
tells
it.
you about it,
No,
I'm
he's
going to
not.
build one of the terrain pieces in here
Great.
to show you how quickly we
Get
can make
clipping, right? So what we've got is some nice pictures to show you while Eddie gets feverishly to work.
You
So
know,
here you can see
Eddie
what you're
strikes
dealing
me
with.
as
Essentially, it is a full
spooky
battlefield worth of
in another
already painted
timeline,
terrain.
born in the
Can't talk
UK,
over the rummaging and crashing of
and he
Eddie.
got into a different game.
The set comes with the game boards that you need. It has the terrain markers, so you know where to put your terrain pieces onto. And obviously, the terrain is painted to a
Just screaming
ready
at
painted
alternate
to a
timeline,
brilliant
Adam
standard.
Troke.
So if you are looking to just
I
clip
will-
things out from
I
the
will
frame,
kill you.
put it
Give me
together
my
quickly,
fucking money
start
back.
playing a game of Warhammer 40,000 on a battlefield that looks really good. This is a wonderful way to do it. It's going to be enormously popular with people who, like me at home. I've already got.
I actually really like
like
this. I really like this that they're doing here.
Maybe like 3
This
friends
is so
over,
good
we
for
could, like, play round
stores.
robin style games. This would enable me to do it nice and quickly. You can imagine gaming.
So good
clubs
for
and
game
tournaments,
stores, so good for
and all of those people who
tournaments
have a
from
need for a
those
nice
game
looking
stores and
battlefield
stuff.
quickly are gonna find
No
this
one
really
ever
exciting.
paints terrain at any sort of
There you go. I'll show
quality.
you
They
what it
just
looks like.
get
Here you go.
through
Get
it.
a
You
zoom
know,
on this.
it's great.
So this is a piece directly off of the frame that Eddie has just worked on, and you can see the level of detail. You've got the fantastic glow.
Okay,
effects
it's not
around the
painted
sort of,
well with
the
the
lumens and
glowing,
the candles
but
and so on.
that's fine.
Inside, you can see the interior.
No,
detail,
look, that's
some
great.
within the
That's
sort of,
great.
The walls, you can see this sort of chipped. And
Yeah, this is
very
good.
nicely done.
Now,
sort
when
of
I look at the
erosion
price, maybe it
down
will
the
no
walls.
longer be good for
Really is a
TOs,
very impressive
but,
piece of
you know,
terrain.
Almost there. Almost
I
there.
don't mind this at all.
So now we got 2. Now I always try and put these together too early.
For
So essentially,
$100
it just push fits. One of the things that
Okay.
we've discovered, the guys who run our global events are really excited about this because it's going to enable them to put together large battlefields very quickly, and you can also unclip these.
The reveals are just ready painted terrain for every
into a
game.
relatively
So I think-
small space.
Yeah, the
There
whole
you go.
thing actually. If you leave the kind of floors off, then the whole thing. Oh, I need to clip out those a bit.
We
Tabor
need to do a
Aguda
bit more
thinks of
clipping
tier
on
1,
here.
58 months.
If
Did you
take
miss the
floors out,
loads?
the
They've
whole thing
had,
packs back into
by
the
my
box.
count,
Pretty much.
5 loads
Which is
have
nice
been
if you're looking
spake.
for somewhere to store your models.
I think we're almost there. Almost there.
Is this why it's an hour and a
So
half? We're
one of
going to
the
watch
things I think
them
is quite
fucking
nice about
hobby on
is,
this thing?
I
Wrap it
speed
up.
painted my entire battlefield, but it took me all of a Saturday to build,
Dog and
and then
dead.
all of a Sunday to speed paint, and it's still not of the same quality as the completion on this. And so you've done the first building in what? The amount of time it's taken us to talk about this. There we go, moving it around. And it really does look wonderful. You can see the bulkhead door and everything inside it.
Call now and you get a free
I'm pretty
non-stick
pleased with this. I'm
pan.
quite
I know you got
pleased with the effect
$10.
I've got on some of the glow there as well. I think the dry brushing
Are you
I've achieved on
taking
this.
credit for all this work?
Yeah, I just made this. Sure, saw it.
Lovely. Nice. So this is on its way later in the year. It will come behind all of the other
Later in the
products we
show
just
or
talked
later in
about.
the year?
And so you're looking more towards the autumn time or
New
beyond
stone
that.
horn, but it's frozen
and
in
in terms
ice and a
of price,
terrain
this one
piece.
comes in. It has twice as much
interesting.
terrain as the Combat Patrol Battlefield.
Winter
and
Muting.
it comes in at a
Sorry,
little
just
bit more than the
joined.
cost of two common.
There you go.
This is an
So,
official video
really exciting.
we're watching.
Okay, so we.
No, these
talked
are
about
just
all of
two
the stars,
streamers
all
with
the
really
terrain,
good
the
production
terrain, very
value.
exciting. I guess we should talk a little bit about
Yeah,
the
this
things
is
that are
a
coming
this is
along
a
with the
billion-dollar
first
company.
Codex of
Yeah, we
11th
should
edition.
probably do that.
This
So
is
it's time to look at
look.
some orcs.
This has been going very good for them. Okay, last time was so bad, zero audio issues.
I got soldier trucks. Big trucks. Bigger trucks.
Bigger
The
trucks.
best trucks. They's got
Tonka
all the
trucks.
gubbins and guns. Grabbing tools, rammy bits, shooters, rockets, you name it. Remember, walking is for kicks and grots. Go fast or go home.
Vehicles may explode when fired upon. Safety of transported boys is not guaranteed.
That was fun. It's
Oh, I
a
didn't
good
know
time to be an
Tenmo was
orc
on
this
the
year,
stream.
isn't it?
It is. They are getting absolutely
everyone
spoiled.
loves the orc
We can
voice.
confirm
It's
today
fun.
the first codex
It's fun to
is
do.
orcs, and alongside the codex there are a whole bunch of
American-style
new
toy
miniatures. One of the most
advertisements.
exciting miniatures on its way is that new truck and
Now
that new
with
mech,
battle
which are on their
damage.
way.
Talk about the mech first.
Let's do the mech first. So, orc mechs, those of you who know orcs will know, these are the mechanics that basically put together all of the weird and wonderful creations that go into battle alongside your orcs. They are
For those of you that
surprisingly
know
good at
orcs,
science.
Boys with the
Yeah.
innate knowledge to just make awesome
are
things out
the
of
mech-
shit.
mechanics.
Gene-coded,
Okay.
innate, kind of
Yeah,
inherited
we're
knowledge in
tailoring
terms of
this
how
for
to
the orc
make
player.
things like teleporters and trucks and guns and
I
shooters.
wish I had
and-
those skills.
Yeah, I
I'd be
mean,
much
you know,
more
if you
useful
play
around the
stuff, I'm
house.
sure you can do it. But yeah, this is a really cool miniature. It has a kind of really thematic. He's got a kind of spanner clobber thing there. He's got his slugger.
got
But the
a
thing that he really
slugger.
does is kind of bring with him all of the awesome machines that make Orc Army so
I don't
fun
really
to
like
play
the
in Warhammer 40,000.
So without
garbage
further ado, let's
aesthetic.
talk about the truck
I don't
then, which is
mean
maybe
bad.
the
I
star
mean
of
the
that show.
aesthetic of built out
This
of
is the
garbage. You
new
know,
orc truck. It's an
I'm not like a huge
evolution
fan
of
of
the
that.
classic orc truck that you know and love. A little bit bigger.
but this
a few
is
more
for
options,
what they
but
were
it's
trying to
really
do. I think
just
this is pretty
wonderful to look
good.
at.
Yeah.
It comes with a variety of options in terms of weapon mounts. You've got the big shooter, you've got the rocket launcher, you have options for a grabber claw and a buzzsaw, and all of those can be swapped in positions on the top so that you can build different configurations to have some great variety as you're making your trucks.
Yeah, this is a phenomenally cool miniature. Like the current truck is really cool, right? The
Absolutely.
truck that is in current Orc armies is a perfectly good vehicle, but it's been with us for a long time now, right? Like it's been
What is it, 15 years?
something
more?
like that. Yeah, it's been around for a while. This is a beautiful
Oh,
reinvention of
15?
it. The thing that really makes this is the fact that you can build it in
15's a
so many
long
different
time.
ways. Where the pintle mount goes, where the close combat weapon goes,
Certain
how the boys are
factions
positioned,
wither.
what the driver looks like,
Even
what goes
here
on
the
the
Oh,
screen, you can see
15
the
is
way it looks like
long,
it's going
puffing
around
their
the corners,
chest
you can
up.
alter the look of the
Yeah, you could
suspension.
kind of play with where the wheels are, and I think especially if you've gone for a really heavy sort of Evil Sons or Speed Freak style army,
Yeah.
and you want to have a bit of variety in your force, this one kit with
This one the
very-
guys are
with
watching,
no
not
changes
GW.
at
No,
all
this is
to
GW.
what
I was
comes in the box
joking. It was.
can
I
be
thought
built
you were joking,
enough times
and
that
you
would
could
never
still
need to
be
replicate
joking.
what a single truck looks like.
Yeah, so we've got a couple here
you know,
on the desk.
it could be
the
a
one
meme.
that I'm most excited by.
But
is
yeah,
the one
this
with
is
this awesome-looking skull
Game
prowl at
James
the front.
Workshop.
It just looks so like mean.
You'll
and
note
orky, this sort of whole skull motif for the
official
orcs is so iconic.
Warhammer.
Yeah, really fantastic. Now, what we wanted to do, the reason we brought these along, is so I can sandwich this little guy in
make some
between them
space in the parking
and
lot
just
there.
show
Yeah,
you.
they have
if you've
started.
already got some
They've
orc
done.
trucks in your
Well,
collection, how nice
it's
they
not a
look.
Mad
And
Max
make all
theme,
the
but
models out
it
of
is made out of
I
scrap
know,
metal.
right? So this is how it looks with the.
Like
the
if you
classic
kind of
truck, in
describe it,
between. It's a really good
you
look.
would
I
think
it's
Mad
really
Max,
great.
but I'm looking at it and it's
you can
not
absolutely
Mad
keep
Max
them
at all.
alongside these new ones. I think there's something
Well,
to be
it
said for
kinda
an Orc
is,
army. It's
but
got a bit of a
yeah,
ramshackle
it's
look to
different.
it. So you could replace them completely, or if you want to have a mix, that's absolutely fine. But I think the new ones just bring. They just look great. They've got so many cool options.
The new ones are
They're gonna
good.
look
It
phenomenal.
does look pretty.
Nice. So that's
know,
a
it-
couple of fantastic.
The
brand
middle
new
one
kits
there is the
coming
old
for
one, I'm
Orcs.
assuming. That
There's
fits
more on the
kinda
way
in there.
That people might be
It's
able
not
to
like
learn
totally
about
outclassed.
through, the progress of the Deathmire.
Yeah, that's right. So there's lots of Orc stuff still to come. Some of the stuff we're showing.
Take your
today,
word
some
for
of
it, but now I don't
will
know
be
what's real
revealed
anymore.
potentially
Don't
if
worry.
the Orcs do
Not
well
knowing
in the
what's
Siege
real
of Deathmire
anymore is
campaign that's
the
currently
average
running. So
experience.
if you want to see some more Orcs,
Particularly on the internet.
play some games, send in your results, and you might get to see some more very, very soon. There are a few other boxes to talk about today, though. We've got the other stuff from Armageddon as well.
Yeah, that's right. So essentially, if you wanted to pick up some of the things from Armageddon or duplicate them, we're going to be releasing the Dakar rig separately, the War Track separately, and the Weird Boy separately.
Oh,
And
they're
also the
releasing
other
stuff
sort of
separately that
is that the right word
is
for it?
also in a
So
giant box.
The banner knob, the big boss.
They're
and
learning.
the
They're
paintball
learning
will be
computer.
released in a command crew set as well. So there's a whole bunch of extra stuff to come. We should probably talk a bit about the Codex itself, though,
Yes.
right? So obviously,
Writing a
this is the
document
first
for your
Codex
game
of
group?
11th
How can I
edition,
call
and it heralds
an expert of a
something
game
really
in a
exciting
cool
in terms
fantasy
of a
way?
format change. for
Maybe
Warhammer
AOS
40,000
related.
codexes. So here you can see.
I don't know
it's,
if I can answer that
contained in a
question
slipcase,
adequately
and we've got one live
with
in
all this
front of you.
noise.
So it's a
But somebody
perfect
just
bound
dropped
book,
their
slightly smaller than the
giant
codexes in
campaign they
terms of,
wanted playtesting for
height,
in my Discord,
but
because
it
my
is
Discord
really
is starting to
thick and is
become
packed with
kind of like
an
a
incredible
creation
amount of Ork
playtesting place, I
178
guess.
pages it is.
Perfect.
Try to do
And,
that.
the first thing that I would like to just eulogize on is how
Winter
incredible
Muting, thanks to the tier 1,
the lore
landed on
section of
Lawless
this is. We are
Dalen.
talking a really
Get sniped.
thick lore section, which is everything you would
Thick
want to know
lore
about the Orks and how
section.
they operate. It's got a gatefold map, you can see it here, which is the Orky perspective.
got a
on the
what
galaxy, all
map?
the places that the Orks are fighting, all the different wars that are taking place. But there's a lot more to it than that. It talks about the Orks, where they come
Cicatrix
from, how they
male
fight, their
dictum.
culture, the
Okay.
different clan structures. Literally the most complete guide on Orks you could hope for, and perhaps the most information on Orks there's ever been in one place. Every unit gets its own full bestiary section. For
Yo,
example.
art's looking good though.
Information on the glyphs, information on like what
You know,
clan
maybe
icons and
it's
things
not
like.
the
It's
highest
really great.
point it's ever
Also, some
been,
people might be interested in the rules.
but
Yeah, so one of the big changes
art's
to
looking
the
good.
rules in this codex versus the previous
That's a
ones
really important
was in the
thing
last
for a
edition,
game.
there was quite a lot of rules in your codex, but quite a lot of them you couldn't use in all the different types of games. So if some of it you could only use in Crusade games, for example, all of the rules in this codex, and there are at least as many rules in this one as there were in the last one, you
Yeah.
can use in every type of game. One
During
of the
Pride
ways
Month,
that
yeah, they started with
manifests,
Space
you'll
Marines.
immediately
What more do you
notice
want?
is the amount of
Got 'em.
detachments that you get to play with. There are 15 different Ork detachments in this codex.
That's loads of ways to use
Loads
your
of different
army,
ways to put your army together, ranging from lots of different sizes in terms of detachment points. It gives you a huge variety of different ways that you can potentially put an army together. Some of these you could probably guess at the themes. There are like some fast ones, some stompy ones.
Yeah, the
some
Fly
all
Boys
of-
gives
Load
itself
counter
away.
up to
Right, like, so
7.
there's some ones you could probably guess at, but there'll be loads of brand new ways that you could put together an Ork army that's just never been
Circumcised,
possible before.
cursed.
And it gives you a
And
sense
it's
of
machine
what codexes
translated
will
from
feel
Chinese.
like in the new
Good
edition, where
shit.
they will bring this huge variety
Good coffee.
of
Good
list
shit.
building opportunities.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's more to it than just the detachments. Obviously, the rules.
The
have been,
Tan Man
looked
was
at by
mentioned,
the
yeah.
Warhammer rules team,
I thought I'd mention
and
it
they've
on
come
a
up with some
stream
things.
next
This
time
is
I went
the,
live, just
army
so someone
special
could look at
essentially,
it.
isn't it?
Yeah, so WAR, right?
well, more
you can't
people,
have
you know.
you can't have an Ork codex without a WAR. The WAR rule has changed a little bit, so there'll be some things that are familiar. There's some slight changes. It still allows you to run and charge, but it now lets you re-roll that run as well. It also lets you have assault on all of your weapons, which is a thing it didn't used to do. So that means that if you've gone for a very shooty army,
Oh,
like
shit,
speed breach, you've got
asphalt
loads of,
weapons?
like bikes and buggies and things.
Yeah, we
that-
stand back with flash kits.
yeah,
or
that's
whatever.
immediately really useful. And it also gives you the riled up ability, which triggers all sorts of things across all the sorts of different bits of the codex, where other units will become more powerful, and you still get that invulnerable.
Why does it sound
save
like
as
their
well.
voices are
It's a
sped up?
really
Because they're
great-
trying
It's a
to.
really, really good rule. For one turn of the game, you'll have a great.
Sometimes you end up doing that when you're
Yeah, and
reading
then
from a
all of the
script,
units
or
within the codex
you're
have had
very
their,
aware of the
data
time
sheets looked at.
limitations
So
in
here's
each
the truck that we just
block
showed
you're
you
doing.
before, and you can see
guess
what's
in a-
gone on with it. So you can see the different weapon options and things.
to a certain
to
degree,
give you
I
a sense
guess
of,
what
it
I'm
means for
saying
your
is it's a
codex.
bit of a mistake,
Yeah, so
but
what you'd expect, it still kind of has
it's a
a
very human
similar-ish
one.
stat line to what
It
the
does-
truck
you
does
know,
at the
they're
moment.
talking quickly.
It is a
It's
kind
not
of
like it's sped up.
medium-sized vehicle. The things that you'll notice are that it has more weapon
It's
options
mostly
than it
Eddie.
used to. So you've got options there for different combat weapons, different shooting weapons.
And piling out is quite a nice
Yeah,
thing, isn't
you've
it?
got a really cool little mechanic where if an enemy unit gets nearby, something like a unit of fire dragons or eliminators or something is ready to kind of ready to kill your truck, you can pile the boys out, ready to kind of countercharge or to avoid being caught in the explosion or something
The
like that. It's a
boys.
really useful little rule that's got some quite neat little tactical plays you can do with it. So I think trucks are going to be very useful.
Yeah, perfect. And then in terms of other data sheets been looked at, it'd be worth looking at the Ork boys, who really have had something of a stat line glow up, it's fair to say.
Yeah, there's a lot going on this data sheet, and I think I would recommend if you've got an Ork army, take a screenshot. There's
Yeah,
some cool stuff
now
there.
is the moment to record this.
There's the
Take a
first thing you'll notice is
screenshot
there's
right now.
loads of weapon options. So one of the things we got asked a lot about the Armageddon box
Oh, the
was,
Tan
is that
Man,
all the
thanks for
options that the
becoming a
Orks will have
Sorcerer
in
Supreme
the new edition? It
on
absolutely
YouTube.
isn't. You've got loads
Appreciate
of different
it.
choices.
In fact, more than you've had recently.
More than I think you've ever had for an Ork unit.
Loads
you've
of
got some
chat.
classic stuff returning, so you've got a burner.
Load counter
bunny
8
Big
at
fan
least.
of not having a roll to hit.
which is pretty cool. You've got loads of different options for your
The
boss's weapon.
boys.
And the thing I want to draw your attention to
Never.
is almost kind of tucked away right at the bottom of that
Chat's
stat line
funny
there,
today.
is the strength of a basic Ork boy is now 5. And that is
Such bad news for
that
Space
is an
Marines.
across the Codex update to your Orks. Every single Ork is at least
We
strength
walk in
5
Japan
all
instead.
of the time now. So that goes for boys. It also goes for your.
I
kind
can't
of
do
beast
picture in
snaggers,
picture
and
with
all of the things
scenes
like your
unless I
knobs
set
and
it up
war bosses
first.
and everything get a commensurate,
Peenwad.
increase as well. So you're already
that is
pretty
your real name.
scary
I think
Orks.
it was a big
They're
primer for
even
8
scarier
months.
all the time, including.
Loads.
Fantastic.
true.
I think it just looks like a load
Look,
of
if
great
they
information.
did
I'm
this
really
kind of
excited
an
about
in-depth
it.
thing about
Yes, I have
ogres,
a
I
really-
would
I think
not be
Harold's
telling
something
them to
really
wrap it
interesting. The last
up,
thing
you
to
know?
talk
So
about
I
with the Codex
feel
is,
like just 'cause
obviously,
I
in the
don't
back of it,
care.
It includes the code that you will put into your
It
Warhammer
doesn't mean I
40,000
should be
app
mean.
to unlock and access the rules. It does something else on top of that. This is kind of like your
I think we're up to 9
passport
loads.
to ongoing content for your Warhammer 40,000 Ork Codex throughout its lifespan.
I was
There'll be
learning how to play
regular
Mahjong last
drops
night.
of lore and rules
13
so that
orphan
you can
loads.
continue to get great stuff out of your codex as the time continues. They've given us.
I don't
want
wanna
to
play Mahjong. I really don't.
Really cool and really.
We'll see if
thematic.
I'm
So
roped
quite
into
excited to
it.
See what happens with that, and then I imagine all the other codexes that follow.
Yep, absolutely.
Perfect. So yeah, the
Hey,
first
we're the most
codex coming
balanced
down the
streamer
pipe
ever.
is
That's where I
Warhammer
get my
40,000
low energy
Orks,
charm.
and it looks
Okay,
amazing.
I'm
Stick around,
nothing
we
if
have
not
more Warhammer
self-aware.
40,000 for you later in the preview.
Yes,
as
yeah,
well,
we'll be
so do
returning
be
to
reasonable,
the
you
41st
know?
Millennium later on in the show. For now, though, we're going to segue into something which is quite interesting. We've talked a lot about ways to get people who are new to Warhammer started with Warhammer 40,000. So let's talk for a little bit about the Warhammer Academy.
The huh? You better show some fucking diversity, GW. Thank you. Fuck, good. I was about to cancel GW. Did you see it?
Wise wizard beneath the mountain.
Farting
We are
on my
in search of
roommate's
enlightenment.
cave.
Long and difficult has been our journey, and many things are still hidden from us.
Tell me what you seek.
What is the difference between the Black Rage and the Red Thirst?
How do you get decast to lay smoothly on a Space Marine shoulder?
Just fucking Google it.
And how exactly do you use command points?
Ah! So you seek to learn the ways of Warhammer.
Just ask a question on 4chan. They'll call you a, well, can't say they're a Christian, but they will inform you. Silence brand. We all start somewhere.
So,
Oh,
wise wizard beneath
he
the mountain.
changed.
What is
Wow.
the Warhammer Academy?
I'm so glad you asked, Eddie. Warhammer Academy is a really exciting thing that we've
I didn't
been
know he
working
was a
on behind the
wizard,
scenes
no
here at
wife.
Games Workshop for a while now, and is the perfect way to answer the question.
Yeah, have you ever
how
heard
do I
about
get started
10,000
with
YouTube
Warhammer? The
tutorials
idea
that
is
are all
that
very
they can
good
come
and
to
some
this
are really
website,
bad?
Which is free to use, and they can get guided first steps
Google.com
on how to begin
/
exploring
Crash
Warhammer.
Bandicoot
So there's,
nude mods.
going to be at
Like,
launch.
you can do
like,
this.
Well over 100 videos, which are all video lessons that deal with the lore and collecting, with painting and modeling, and with gaming to get you on your first steps. I'm out of breath. I had to throw this costume on to get you started on your sort of first steps through.
Guys, you
Warhammer.
know the internet exists? No, they don't.
When the website launches,
These
it will focus on
motherfuckers
Warhammer
still
40,000
print
to coincide
physical
alongside all
rule
these new
books
starter products so that people can like
with a
experience Warhammer for the
time-ticking
first time
shelf
and get
life of
through
a few months
learning more about
sometimes.
the
They have a
universe and what the factions
magazine
and the armies are,
in
and, really
2026.
going on that same journey that we've all been when we've been able to sit down with somebody
Looking
and
at their
just talk
website,
about
I don't think they
what
do know
Warhammer
what the
is.
internet is.
And then the painting team have put together these amazing videos that start really basic and then go all the way through to some really great techniques that will have your army looking fantastic. And then the gaming side takes it from the assumption you've never played a game of Warhammer before and takes you all
Teach
the
you
way
how
through
to be a
playing your first
customer.
games of Combat Patrol.
We
which
have to turn
played and had a lot of fun
players
with.
into
And so you should be able
payers.
to have a wonderful experience. If you are completely new to Warhammer or there's somebody in your life that wants to get started, this is a wonderful thing to point them towards when we launch it, and they'll be able to take their first steps. If you want to sharpen your own skills, we talk about, as we've been working on the
It's
Academy,
like they made
how you
Warhammer
can build
Plus.
your skills, your confidence, and your experience
You know?
to get the most out of this wonderful Warhammer hobby that we all enjoy. And so the whole
It
purpose
feels
of
like
this
that a
Academy,
little
which
bit.
is free to use, is to just get on board and sharpen those skills and your confidence and have a great time.
Sounds wonderful.
Nice. And the releases alongside
Are they
those
free?
Warhammer 40,000 starter sets that we talked about
Because I'm
previously.
smelling
So
Warhammer
not
Plus.
long now, a month or so, and then you'll be able to see Warhammer Academy for yourself.
Sounds great.
Perfect. I'm really excited. Right. Now I'm going to get out of this costume, and while we do, let's travel to the old world.
Oh, the old world? Big. All plastic 2 army set. The army of Chun versus... What are those guys from Dune called with the throat singing? Anyway. Fridge Frazetta's back. Lord on Chaos Dragon. Look at that shit. Damn, he looks dumb though with his weird hand. Dude
Welcome
on Chaos
back.
Dragon is
I've
sick
returned
though.
to normal, and we are now thrilled by some news for Warhammer: The Old World. That was a great-looking box of miniatures. There's a lot.
That
to
was
talk
a
about. We've got
great-looking
some
box
here
of
to get
miniatures.
Close-ups on in a little while.
Sardaukar,
For now, let's
you are
dive
right.
into that new two-player
You are
box
correct.
for
I
Warhammer:
couldn't
The
think of
Old
it.
World. This features 2 armies going head-to-head. You have the army of Grand Cathay.
What even is
going
the
up
point
against
of
the Chaos
AOS?
Warriors.
Dude, I don't
So,
fucking know.
within it, you
Like,
will
what did they
see
do?
In a moment, the Cathay force. This is Grand Cathay.
Why aren't
They're
these
fairly
just
recent
AOS
additions
models?
Yeah, they're
to
quite new
Warhammer: The
miniatures,
Old
aren't
World.
they, these ones?
And then they
this is an army
gave
you'll have already seen
AOS like
before.
good
So you've got the
rules and
Jade
stuff. Why
Warriors,
do we make
you've
2?
got the Jade Lancers.
Why
Units
2?
you'll be familiar with, and they're taking a
But
big
hey, all right.
part in the sort of ongoing struggles in the Old World at the moment. They've dispatched an enormous force to aid against the Chaos invasion that's taking place. It's a beautiful army. You've seen it before. The showstopper for this new box is the wonderful new
look at this
range
dude.
of all plastic Warriors of Chaos.
He's got the
which you'll find
drum.
on the other half of this box set. So here you can see the Chaos Warriors themselves.
Yeah, this is an amazing update to your Warhammer Old World Warriors of Chaos. Warriors of Chaos, of course, one of the archetypal
Damn,
villains,
they
or the
look
archetypal
sick.
visuals, really, of Warhammer, the Old World. This is a really cool army. All the bits in this are multi-part, and these are all brand new plastic miniatures.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Chaos Warriors are kind of the mainstay of the Warriors of Chaos army.
Yeah, these guys are it.
Elite
They did it.
Heavy infantry in the best
This
armor
shit is
that you can
sick.
get in Warhammer: The Old World, and they stride forward in ranks of hard-to-kill warriors, and they will deal punishment.
They'll look
when they
completely
get
out of place next to the
course,
old models.
they
That's
are
the whole
but,
point.
Part of this new force, the other part,
whole
and perhaps
point
the most
is that you
iconic
play
of
with
the
these and
Warriors
not
of Chaos
those.
units are the Chaos Knights.
Moreover, that you
These
buy
are
these and not those.
super
But they
elite,
do look
heavy
fucking
cavalry.
awesome.
Inside this new box, you get 4 Chaos Knights. It's a classic size. If you remember days of yore, you go back in the
Man,
time
this
a
is
long way
good.
now.
This is good.
Chaos Knights used to often feature in units of 4. So you have what you'd expect: a champion, a musician, a standard bearer, and then an additional knight. They can be swapped out with the lances that you see here in the picture.
And
so
you could
can
add
build
into
bigger
the unit, obviously, and
yeah,
make
absolutely.
it bigger.
You get 4 in the box. You'll be able to get more as time goes on. So if you want to build bigger units of Chaos Knights, you certainly will be able to. Chaos Knights are some of the hardest hitting and most dangerous.
Didn't Slays of Darkness
cavalry
already get
units
their
in all of
refresh? They
Warhammer.
did.
They're also just
But
like
they got this one
the-
too for the other
almost
game that they
the
spun up.
archetypal heavy cavalry, right? Like
Yeah.
when you
So
build
that
an
they
army for
can
Warhammer: The Old
continue.
World, you're like, well, I can take a charge, but could I take a charge from Chaos
It's
Knight?
so
Probably
good
not.
though.
The
Like,
absolute pinnacle
both of the
hardest
STD
hitting unit.
updates are
so lots
good.
of people very keen to include this unit in their army. If you've got a Chaos
10
Force,
years,
so,
3 new warrior
almost
kits,
never
3 new
see a
knight
Chaos army
kits.
without
Hey,
a
look,
Chaos Knight.
ogres
They're
are
just
about to get their
so
thing. Don't worry
Yeah,
about it.
absolutely. And then the force is led by some champions of chaos. You have 1 on foot and 1 on horse. This one here you can see is modelled as a battle standard bearer. The kit contains enough options that you can swap around the things. So in a moment, as we see the screen progress, you'll see some of the things you can do. It also has a chaos champion on a demonic mount. This is my favourite model in the set. It is
Dude, that's a
beautiful,
wide-ass
and
horse.
It's a really iconic image of a
I think
chaos
it looks like the artwork of Chaos Warriors from some of those
Holy
old Warhammer
shit.
Fantasy.
Yeah, it does look
army
like it's
books.
trying to do the old
And
artwork.
The miniatures have finally got
And
to the
it's
point where they
succeeding.
can capture
Yeah.
like the thing that you sort of imagined that Chaos Warriors you wanted them to look
God,
like
look at that.
all those years ago. It's just such a cool kit. I love the standard bearer as well. I think this champion kit is one of the best sort of hero kits that Warhammer's yet
Dude,
released.
look
I
at
don't
that
have a chaos
dude.
army, for Warhammer. I never have, but I would really like to get my hands on that model.
Fridge
I think it just
Frazetta
works beautifully.
Reborn.
So let's talk for a little bit about that box. It's a 2-player core box for Warhammer the Old World. It's essentially what you need to
They're
start playing
busier
Warhammer
than the
Old World
AOS
if you
ones,
haven't
but they
before.
don't
It's an enormous
appear
box.
busier
It
because
contains
it's
the
just
armies.
spikes
it also
and stuff.
contains the rulebook.
They played a
must finish.
trick,
The rulebook
and I
is
think
the
they played the
same
trick
rules
well,
as you currently use for
where it
Warhammer the Old
looks
World. So if you're
simpler, but it's
sat
not.
there worrying that this is going to change the rules that you're playing with, it won't. The difference really with this rulebook and the rulebook you already have, if you're already playing the Old World, is that the erratas and things that exist online are woven into this. So that should make life a little bit easier.
You can bring just this book, and you don't need to worry about any other documents.
Exactly. And then further to that, it has an additional section.
TOW streamer arc
Talk
begin.
more about that in a little
I
while.
saw another miniature when we were showing up.
Hey, give me
we'll just
ogres that
talk
don't
about
look
Muster
like
List before we go.
retards,
Muster List is the
and I
rules
might
for the
do it.
models that are in the box. There you go. This is how to play Warhammer. All in
Don't
one
worry,
handy
we
box.
won't have to
And it's very
because
exciting. And
getting
you
a
can use the thing that
Frostlord
we know and love.
centerpiece.
Now,
let's talk dragons, Adam.
yeah, let's talk dragons. We're all very excited. This might be my favourite thing in the entire preview.
New
It
ogres
is
will be
such
for
a
TOW.
show-stopping model.
Oh,
this
no.
is the Warriors of
No,
Chaos
no, no.
Lord on Chaos Dragon, and there's so much.
Look
to
at the
talk about.
top
And
of
You
his
just get the
head.
sense of the size of it just from that shot, where it was already taller than the 3-story buildings
Yeah,
that
no
are behind
kidding.
it. It is an absolutely enormous, phenomenally cool miniature for Warhammer the Old World. I think probably the biggest monster we've had released yet.
It's got to be right up there, and there have been some fantastic
this is a-
kits
this is a
since Warhammer the
fine
Old World launched. There's things to
Glock
talk about. The
D.
first, I want to just wax lyrical on how cool Chaos Dragons are.
Wax
We've seen
lyrical,
this
rap
image
god?
before of Chaos Dragons with 2 heads.
Yeah,
there
this
used
is
to be
so much better than
special
Archaon.
character Chaos
Yeah, you had,
Dragon.
Garak the Chaos Dragon, which was the kind of one that had eaten the Lord of Change, and then before that you had Von Horstmann,
The
who was
two-header,
the,
two-seater?
the kind of former College of Magic in the Empire.
What if Archaon wasn't a
character
bitch?
Who was on
Well,
a 2-headed Zinchian dragon.
in the lore,
But
he's
that's
quite
a long
cool.
time ago. We've never had a plastic version of it. A plastic 2-headed Chaos Dragon has been a long time coming, and I think even though we've waited decades for it, this is worth the wait. This
Yeah,
is a
absolutely.
really cool model.
It's also what we sometimes call a 2 for kit, in that you can make a different option with it. So you've seen the Chaos Lord. This is a Sorcerer Lord, and there's some differences.
and he's
The
got a
first is
wiggly
Rider.
arm.
Obviously, he's now a hunched and wizened Chaos Sorcerer, which is a powerful unit in its own right. It can be up to a level 4 wizard. He's not bad in a fight. He's backed up by a 2-headed Chaos Dragon. Everything you would
Yeah,
want
you're not going to
enjoy.
kill him with a light cavalry unit. Are you?
No,
But-
absolutely not. Additionally, there's some slight differences with the dragon itself. You'll notice that this one has sort of different frills and things. So if you wanted 2 dragons, you could have different riders on them, and they would look a bit different. And then you, with a little bit of sort of paint magic, what you've got is 2 very striking, different.
How much
Chaos dragons in
PPE
your
he
armor.
got?
Very exciting centerpiece model. The images that the video team have put together here,
400
capture its
maybe.
majesty. It's possibly even better in the flesh, and we have it on the desk here, so you can
Middle
see it
of the
looming
road.
over some of these new Chaos Warrior models.
Yeah, one of the things we haven't mentioned as well is just
Imagine
next
if you
to
could
the
run
Chaos
this in
Dragon,
both
just below
games,
here,
you'd sell twice as
whichever
many.
one you don't build. So if you build the Chaos Lord on the
Damn.
dragon,
Docking
you
is
get a
so
Chaos
bad at
Sorcerer
business.
Lord on foot,
You're supposed
and if you build
to-
the Sorcerer Lord on the dragon,
You're supposed
you
to
get
give
Chaos
your
Lord on
customers
foot.
less
So
reason to
whatever
buy
way you build
things.
this,
Are you
get
stupid?
Basically, 2 very
Yeah,
powerful
so this is
heroes.
the Sorcerer Lord that you would get if you build it with the Chaos Lord, and then this is the
Obviously.
Chaos Lord on foot if you built it with the Sorcerer. So, crikey. Always worried I'm going to destroy Heavy Metal model live on video. Really a great kit. You can see all the other things in
Just
front
the
of us
size
as well.
of it as well. I mean, these are
The
big models.
size
Right?
of
The
it.
Chaos Knights are not small cavalry models, and this
Not
is about
small.
4 times the height of them. So it's a big old beast, and also just phenomenally good in the game as well, right? Like a Chaos Lord on a 2-headed.
Wait,
Chaos
they're
Dragon
good in the game
is up
too?
there with the very best.
Careful,
units
you're giving
in all
someone
of
2
Warhammer
reasons to
There's
buy
almost nothing
something
that
from
can go
you.
against
You
it.
don't
Just
want to do
Before
that.
we move on from Chaos Warriors, have a look at the back of the Chaos Champion on horse. You can see
Take a
all
look
this
at that
amazing
ass.
detail.
I don't
He's got,
want to
like,
look at the horses.
fur under his saddle. He's got like heads hanging from chains.
Oh yeah,
The
that's
detail
that.
on
Dude,
these
the
models
model
is
looks so good.
Yeah, I think one of the things that's worth calling out actually about these Chaos Warriors particularly is that these are Chaos Warriors designed for Warhammer the
Here,
Old
let me
World,
turn
so they're
this
meant to
around
look
for you.
like
Look at this
the
horse's
logical
ass.
extension of the kind of Marauder
Absolutely,
archetype.
they're very
So-
much sort of the chaos armored barbarians from the
But-
north.
but
Yeah, you're
there's still a
supposed to
little bit of
pitch
that kind
your
of, like, barbarian
internal
raider vibe to
businesses
them. They've
against
got
each
the look
other
of
like
someone who's
gladiators
kind
so
of
that everyone
walked out of
loses.
the
Yeah.
Arctic North of the Warhammer world, so
Just
that
is
they
about to ransack
Now,
the
my
old
wife,
world.
you
Absolutely,
see,
yeah.
she
Gotta
loved
love
the
it.
old
right.
world.
Obviously,
She went on
alongside
vacation
the
to
core box,
Gur.
people might want to get their hands on some other things that would be useful. So
One
here
more
you can
thing.
see common magic items and laws of magic.
When
These
are we
are
getting
cards
Columbo
which
in
enable you
Warhammer?
to do quick reference as you're playing your games and can be very
How do you
useful.
use these in
They're not
AOS? You
required,
buy them,
obviously,
put them on
for
circle bases,
inside the
you're
book.
done. Easy.
There's also another thing that
Unless
we
the
said we would
sizes
talk
are
about a little bit.
different.
This is Battle March, the General's Companion. Now, Battle March is a new way to play games of Warhammer the Old World. the way this works is that you build smaller forces, not unlike Spearhead or Combat Patrol, between 400 and 700 points, and then you unleash them in.
But do
games
you get
that
to
are
choose
quicker to
what's in
play
those
and,
armies so that
more
it's good
straightforward.
instead of
There's
not
some
being able
rules
to
in this
choose so it's
companion
bad?
which, sort of detail how you make your force. So there's some limitations on what you can and can't take, and some requirements, and then there's different scenarios to play.
Oh, you do get to
rules
list
for Battle
build.
March
Oh,
are in
they
the new
solved
rulebook,
it. They fixed.
And there's
They
those
fixed
rules
it.
and
Okay.
more information and more scenarios and ways to play are found inside this Battle
Hey,
March
good work.
General's Companion. So whichever one you want to take as your option in, you can start playing, I don't know, like lunchtime leagues, or maybe like a campaign across a weekend of like quick turnaround games.
Or if you've just started an army for the first time and you maybe haven't got enough to play a full-size game, you can
Yeah,
still play
absolutely.
with a smaller force.
Yes. Now, to help you with that, they are releasing the first of Battle March armies. So this is the Warriors of Chaos
Battle
and
March.
Grand Cathay Battle March armies, and they contain a variety of units deliberately designed.
What
to
kind of
give a
Italian
good
lunch
Battle
break
March
is this going to fit
experience.
into?
And you could totally add these to the new box, and then you have nice big armies if you wanted to play
Yeah,
large
we were
games.
talking about if you add
Nice
either of these
big
boxes
armies.
onto your the new sets coming out with the Warriors of Chaos and the Army.
What
of
is their
Grand Cathay,
fascination with lunchtime? In
and
the
then you add something
UK,
like I don't know, a monster like a two-headed
if
dragon.
you work for a
you've-
company that
or a Cathayan dragon,
makes
you've
these
pretty much
games
got
and
an
has
army,
giant
ready to
tables,
go.
you could technically
these
play
are really
over
lovely
lunch.
places to start a force.
They think
or,
that's
just a
something
really
that can
good way to
happen.
bolt on loads of troops
Maybe
onto
it's
an
just a
army.
difference in culture.
Absolutely.
Maybe in the
There's
UK,
also more coming
on
from
your
the old
lunch break,
world.
you
This
could
is
just
the,
fuck around.
Arcane Journal, the March of Chaos. This continues the narrative that we're seeing unfold in the old world at the moment. The Chainbreaker, this Chaos Lord, is descending from the north with an enormous throng. They're ploughing through the northern provinces of the Empire. Even the forces.
Lunch breaks are
of
30 to
Grand
45
Cathay
minutes here in the
called
UK.
well,
Yeah, well, you
volunteered
can't play
themselves
this.
to come in and try and stave off this invasion, and it's a grim affair. Magic is being.
I mean,
fired
if you
around
really
everywhere.
are at,
So that
at
card
work,
deck is
even
called
playing Magic
Boys,
over that
which,
30 to 45
the
minutes
Winter
would be a
Magic
little
blowing so furiously
stretch.
that there's loads of different Magic escapades and things to get on with. It's a really good time to be playing Warhammer Old World right now.
Yeah, I'm enjoying the narrative.
Anyway, it's just a period of time. They don't intend on you actually playing over lunch break. They're just like, it's a short amount of
no kidding.
time.
Oh, I like that. That was good. Deep cut if you know your Warhammer history.
So you can get a few
So,
games in on a
slight
Friday
segue.
night or
It's
whatever.
not quite the old world, but it's very similar. Let's talk about Blood Bowl for a minute. Blood Bowl is the game of fantasy football, and there is some really exciting things to show with the release of the new Spike Journal. This is Spike Journal 22.
Ain't no way you can play Spearhead
Blood
in an
Bowl
hour. You
7s
know.
is the theme. What's Blood Bowl 7s? I hear you ask. Well, I'm
What's
glad
Blood
you
Bowl
did.
7s, Adam?
There you go. Perfect. Blood Bowl 7s is essentially a way of playing Blood Bowl which is akin to like rugby 7s or five-a-side football. So you're compacting your team. You're playing faster games on a smaller pitch.
There's two
It's
modern
very
Chaos
frenetic.
Warrior
It
ranges
really
existing
changes
at the
quite a
same
lot of
time. Yeah.
the tactics and the ways.
And
that
there's
you would
also the
play,
old Chaos Warriors
and
that they're
makes
still
for
selling, I
a
believe, for
entirely different
TOW.
and very fun experience. You get 4 of
Not
your
necessarily an
positionals, in
efficient
this
use of
game, so
resources,
you've got
but
quite a lot of skills and things on the tabletop. and
they're
it's
the
just a lot of
billion-dollar
fun.
company, not me.
I'm excited for this, but I'm even more excited for what we're about to show you, which is some fantastic new Blood Bowl miniatures. The first of which is a new big one available for several teams. This is the Rat Ogre.
I love this model. I think the thing that I most love about it is if you look on his shoulder, he has a little rat with a piece of cheese and a flag on his tail.
That is beautiful, but is it better or as good as a rat wearing a gas mask and carrying a lump of warpstone?
It's very close, and I think you'll have to
Ratoga.
make that decision for yourself.
God
so you
damn,
get
I
hold
hate
of your own
Blood
Rat
Bowl.
Ogre. I
You
think the
could
cheese
build
care
your
about
Rat Ogre
it.
without either of those rats, but boo.
I mean, you could if you wanted to
Like-
not have a rat on his shoulder. You guess you could do without.
The
but
funny thing is,
does anyone want that?
This is also a great model, but if you're not taking one of the rats, I think you've got mad. This is available for a number of teams. Obviously, you can use it in the Skaven team, but also the Underworld Denizens and the Chaos Renegade teams. If you want some real muscle to go in there and just clobber the enemy, break the enemy line, so your team can run
You've
through
got the mutation options in there as well.
Yeah,
I've seen.
absolutely. Speaking of big uns, there's another one on the way. This is a Minotaur.
Or Minotaur.
Yeah, absolutely. This is another one of those iconic, heavy-hitting Blood Bowl units, and it's again available for a variety of Blood Bowl teams. You can use it in the Chaos Chosen, you can use it in the Chaos Dwarf list, you can use it in the Chaos Renegade teams, and here you can see the different ways you can build it to fit more in with the teams.
Every model needs a token or
so this
pet.
one
Yeah,
here
you
on
see
the
they
screen at
made
the
a
moment,
little pet
rather
one
than
time,
hands or even hooves,
and it
has
worked.
got kind of scorpion.
So now they got to
claws.
run it into the ground.
He's not going to do much
That's the way.
catching, but he might do even better clobbering than a regular Minotaur.
Yeah, no kidding. Now, those are wonderful.
Elite
the thing
Thorn
I'm most
Chieftain?
excited about, not just for this Blood Bowl
Level
reveal,
60?
but maybe in all of Blood Bowl, is our next
He
reveal.
is your favourite, Adam.
Morgenthorg is my favourite thing about Blood Bowl. I
Damn, that guy
absolutely
is
love
hella
him. He's been
ugly
an
and
iconic
stupid
character
looking.
from,
That's your
right from the
favorite?
start. There is a new multi-part plastic Morgenthau model coming, and he is wonderful. The kit enables you to make him in one of 3 very iconic.
So this is what the
designs.
ogre
This is one
rumors
of the
were,
previous
right?
one, which really
It wasn't
sort of
anything
connects to
else.
that
This is
iconic
it.
artwork that we were used to seeing with Morg. Here is another version. This is him in his gouged eye motif when he played for an Ork team, and you can see like the Ork charms and things around his neck. This is for the Chaos All-Stars when he played with that team. That was his first ever team. You see, he's still got hair.
And you can see he's also got each of the Chaos Gods icons on his little chain around his neck as well, which is really cool.
Absolutely love it. If you are unfamiliar with Blood Bowl or Morg in particular, let me just tell you, he is genuinely one of the best.
Adam, can you take him in a halfling team?
You can, and I have used him to lead my halflings to almost glory.
Almost
a number
glory.
Of times.
Halflings?
He's so
No.
good. He hits like a freight train. He's really heavily armed.
Not
He's got great
racist,
shield,
just
mighty
don't
bow,
like 'em.
Loads of armor, everything you could possibly want, and he costs a load of points. So halflings are really cheap. So you
Can he
stack
throw
it up.
halflings?
He can throw a halfling. In fact, my halfling, my favourite halfling, Captain Colin Head, scored many a touchdown and nearly died as he would be lobbed down the pitch. I could talk about Morg.
You're
far
rude
too long.
for
It's coming soon. Very
Blood Bowl.
exciting. Please, let me have
am.
one. Let's look at the models.
I am
Okay,
unfairly
here's all the
rude
models. There we
at
go.
Blood
These are the
Bowl.
beautiful heavy metal painted Morg
But
models, and here you can
to
see,
me, the humor
what they
is
look like.
stupid.
So
The models
going,
don't look
sort of
good.
from this
The
side
game
onwards,
sucks.
This is Morg. Were you to build him in that
And
sort of gouged eye look, and you see his armor looks like the sort of armor that
Its
Black
fans-
Hawks wear.
Yeah, so you get different armor, different head, different. chest
Actually, its
plates,
fans aren't
you've got
that
a bunch of
annoying. I'm going to be
Yeah, and
honest.
then this is Morg with the Reichland Reavers uniform.
There are
and
way
then,
worse
From I think
fans.
the first edition Blood Bowl.
Well,
or
yeah,
was it
a
second?
number of them, really. I think he's appeared on a couple of covers. And then if you wanted to do him as Chaos All Stars, you'd use this one. But ultimately, build your Morg how you want and just go and clobber the enemy and score some touchdowns.
There you go.
We have the other models on the table as well. You can see the Minotaur, a Rat Ogre, and then another Minotaur. These are all hulking
him so you
models.
get a really good
Maybe it's
power
because I
of
don't
that.
care about
Average lineman.
football.
Right with the cheese there.
There you go. That's the real
Maybe
stuff.
that's my problem.
Perfect. So there we go. A good time for Blood Bowl. 3 amazing new big characters coming your way. A new way to play Blood Bowl in the new Spike Journal. I'm very excited about this.
AOS fans are
We
much more
really
annoying than Blood
done
Bowl fans,
this preview.
probably, because there's
Really?
more of them.
Right.
Well,
Why don't
maybe
we
they're
go
not.
to the
Maybe there's
Age of
not more of
Darkness?
them. I think I've seen this stuff before. Dude, this robot is awesome. The bikes are dumb. Don't like the tank. Robot is great.
Welcome back.
30K continues to
really excited
dumpster
talk now
40K
about
as
the
far
Adeptus
as
Custodians
cool-looking
or the
robots are
Custodians. Well, which
concerned.
one is it, Eddie?
It's both, Adam, because
Perfect.
the new box set that's on its way is a reinforcement set for the Custodies, and you can use it for either Warhammer the Horus Heresy
Like, I
or
love this
Warhammer
robot.
40,000. And just in case
Good
you didn't believe
shit.
us, we put the logos on the box.
It couldn't
so
be
there's
clearer, could it?
no confusion. You can absolutely use this for either game system. There are 6 models in this box, which doesn't sound like a lot, but
Until
when
you realise how big they
until
are.
you look at the models, which are huge and awesome. So let's start with the fastest unit in that box.
Yeah, these are the Falcon jet bikes, an iconic unit from the
You can use it in both
Legion
games,
Custodians
unlike
Force.
everything else we
They are
sell.
fast-moving, hard-hitting, heavily armed and armored units, which are designed to storm in and
I just
break
don't
the
like
back of
bikes,
enemy,
I guess,
forces.
in future games.
Each custodian is armed like
Maybe
to
that's
the
my
teeth.
problem.
There's loads of things to talk about
I'm
here.
not a bike
the
guy.
first thing would be to mention that there's different guns that come on these models. Essentially, you have a choice
Bike
of the
bigot.
Devastator Arachnus volley gun,
Very
twin
phallic.
Corvée pulse laser. That's the over and under one. You can see it looks a bit like an over and under shotgun. And then you also have the Lastrum bolt cannon. So loads of different weapons to do loads of different jobs.
Yeah. So
Go on.
one of the things in a Custodies army, obviously,
They're
is you haven't got a lot
the
of units
glizzy
because they cost a lot
gliders.
of points. So
Yeah.
you might find that you've got a couple of things that your army's not very good at killing. And one of the things that units like this can do with loads of different options is you go, actually, I really need
Bikes,
some help to
birds,
kill
monkeys.
monsters
Time to
or
update
infantry
the
or something.
wiki.
So you can kit these out with almost a gun for almost any occasion, right?
Look, I
you can
hate
have different
birds
guns across the
and
unit,
monkeys.
Or you
I-
could actually go, I just want
I don't
them all
hate
to be really good
bikes.
at
I just
killing
don't think
vehicles,
they
give them
fit
the
in a
best thing to
future
do. The
setting at
specific
all.
vehicle I think that I'm weakest into.
Yeah, all
I
of
think
them
the-
also have a
the
Solarite
vehicle
power
type
lance,
just
which is a
doesn't belong
formidable
anymore
power.
once
It is
you get into the future.
enormous. The Solarite lance, it's about 3 times the length of a Space Marine.
Yeah,
I
it's
reckon you could
huge.
kebab about 5 Chaos Space Marines on that thing.
Kebab about?
Absolutely. So there's 4
Is that where
of
they
these
found
inside the set,
Osama?
which is a brilliant unit to go spearheading around the battlefield and just bring pain to the enemy. It's not the only thing that moves fast in this box. We also have the Palace Gravitac.
The Palace Gravitac is a fast-moving skimmer for
I don't
the
think I like
Custodies.
this one
You
either.
can kit it out with either anti-infantry
It's
or
okay.
anti-vehicle stuff. It works a
that
little
middle
bit
part
like
That middle
land
part's the
speed is probably
problem.
the way to think about it, and it's very
Like, that
useful
shit's
for
cool
custodians
over here.
because
That's
you tend to
cool.
have a lot of very expensive
It's obviously a
models,
pod
so you don't have
racer,
very
right?
many
It's just a
small
pod
units.
racer.
So this can
But
zip
this
around the
this
battlefield,
middle
take
section,
in
they drop
objectives,
the ball
getting
on.
the enemy where they're hiding.
The
in a way that
two
your
grav
infantry,
tank things, those are
they're
cool.
very good at holding ground, but not very good at kind of chasing stuff down.
Yeah, and this is another one of those units you can use to sort of cater for where you think you might need additional strength. Has 2 weapons to choose from:
The Glizzy
twin
Gladiator,
Electric
yeah,
Blade or the twin
I called the
Iliastus
bikes
Accelerated
Glizzy
Diesel.
Gliders, and this is the Glizzy
Those are
Glad.
so you can tailor your palace to deal with particular threats.
But I think the model, the showstopper of this box is undoubtedly the Telemon
showstopper.
Dreadnought. This is a brand new multi-part plastic
This is
kit,
sick.
A reinvention of the
Very
resin
big.
version, the already very nice
That's
resin
quite
version
large.
of the Telemon Dreadnought, but in glorious multi-part plastic,
Impressive.
keeping all the posability with even more detail.
He's got the
and even
command
more
grab
weapon
hand.
Yeah, speaking of weapon
The
options, I'll walk you
shoulders.
through them. Between its shoulder blades, you
Dude,
can
look at
see
those
the
lats.
Sticulus missile launcher.
He's got the
but
mini
there are other
missiles up
weapon
there for the
options too.
volleys
You can
greater
see
than
the
4, so you
Iliastus
can't dodge
Accelerated
them.
Culverin, the Adrathic Devastator, and the Arachnid Storm Cannon. On his other hand, so you can build those as you
I like how
will,
they
choose
kind
what
of
suits your loadout. On the other
imply
hand, you have the Kestus,
like
that's
war
essentially
medallions
fancy
and
Legio
stuff like
Custodian
that
forms,
for
Power Fist
these.
with twin neutronium cascade projector. So
Yeah.
it's a bit like a flamethrower, but with neutroniums.
Absolutely. Neutronium's more deadly than flame, apparently.
Gotta
So
be,
there you go.
right?
Neutronium.
One of those guns is,
Huh?
of course, new. The one that's currently equipped. The name escapes me. Sorry. The
Oh, I think you are talking about the Iliastus Accelerated
Oh, yeah,
Culverin.
exactly that
This
one.
guy does
and
instant
this is a really
720s
beautiful kit,
on
right?
Wake.
So you could paint this up very quickly if you wanted to.
Standing
like gold spray and
720s.
wash would make it look beautiful. But equally, if you wanted to take your time over all the detail of this, it is absolutely dripping in
Dude, those
detail. More
720s
detail even
walking
than was on
forward.
some of those resin versions.
The
of
hands
this when it
just
came out.
spinning.
We have one on the table, and we brought along some other
I
dreadnoughts.
really like this.
so you
This
can
is
sort of
excellent.
see,
This is an excellent
how
model.
it scales up.
Do you want to go first?
Yeah,
Snake Eyes played this
Telemon Dreadnought
guy?
is ever so
Dude.
slightly larger than the resin one. So we
Snake
brought
Eyes or
a
Dragon
Leviathan
Eyes?
Do you
Dreadnought.
remember when you saw a Leviathan for the first time and thought, you're
Damn.
never going to pick
Nothing could ever be cooler than a
Leviathan?
Leviathan Dreadnought, and he's still pretty cool. I like
Yeah,
Leviathans
absolutely.
a lot. But
When will they give
the
Grief
Telemon
green
Dreadnought
hand back
stands
so
a
Snake
good
Eyes can win
head
another
above
Evo?
The, even the Leviathan.
And with last summer's release, lots of people may have got their hands on a Saturnine Dreadnought.
Dude, that
You can
guy's fucking
see
big,
There's
too.
some similarity
Yeah.
between these two in terms of the shape of the shoulder pads.
Kind of big.
The Telemon is a little taller. The
Green Hand is NPE
Saturnine
for the modern
is a little bit
audience.
broader.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
watching
absolutely.
the
So
new
this one
games is
definitely
NPE
got more
for
mass to
the
it, like the weight
audience.
of it looks heavy, but the Telemon stands ever so slightly taller, which might just mean that the Custodians didn't want to kind of ever look up at a Space Marine. I think that's probably the point, isn't it?
Yeah, why not?
You don't understand,
I
hey,
like
well,
it.
Green Hand is
So
toxic.
all of
Let's
these,
grapplers get in.
models
Yeah.
we've talked about. So the Gerfalcon jet bikes, the Palace Grav Attack, and the Telemon
Oh, I'm
Dreadnought
sorry. Just
will
use
be
your
available in
game
Pacific the first
mechanic
time as
reversal
part of this
then and
box
spend
set,
meter.
and then available separately later down the line.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you can use them, definitely use them for both Warhammer 40,000.
Wow.
and Warhammer
You
40,000.
absolutely can. One of the new detachments for the Custodians in Warhammer 40,000 has some specific upgrades for Telemon Dreadnoughts as well.
The Tachi Giga.
Great, nice. So that's not everything for the.
Hey, we're
Age of
confirmed for
Darkness.
Custodes
We also
player,
have
just like Henry
a
Cavill?
new,
No.
General Tactica on the way. This is General
I just
Tactica
really
Prospero
like
Burns,
a lot of the
Judgment
30K
Baldor,
aesthetic.
And this deals with the
A great
actions
deal
of
more than the
Constantine
40K
Baldor and the Legio
aesthetic.
Custodes during the burning of
And I
Prospero,
can appreciate
they joined
when stuff
forces
looks
with the
great,
Space Wolves to
even if
bring
I'm not
judgment
interested in the
to
game
Magnus and his
necessarily.
errant sons.
Yeah, we know quite a lot about the Burning of Prospero. We've seen it from the Thousand Suns perspective. We've seen it from the Space Wolves perspective. We know that the Custodians were there, but we haven't really heard
Why
much
can't you
about
just
what
parry,
the Custodians
you
were
know,
up to.
just
And this explores
push
that.
back,
You
dude,
kind of
just
find
push
out
back.
what they were doing while the two legions were taking chunks out of each other. One of the things that's quite cool about it is that the Custodians obviously on one side. On the other side, there are some Thousand Suns, but the main antagonist really for them is a demonic.
Want to spend
Yeah,
60 bucks on a
absolutely.
book
For the
that's
first
wrong?
time, this was
Want to do it
presented
100
this edition,
times?
A full army list for the Demons of Siege, including new psychic disciplines. So you can start using the warp.
Yeah, don't worry.
denizens of the patron
They're doing AOS
who
last
is,
because the Ogre
providing,
reveal is the biggest,
Thousand Suns.
most involved.
Salvation,
You know,
possibly.
No,
we're
it's
going over the
actually
War
probably
Scrolls
it
just
is
like they
probably
did with
good.
Orks. Okay.
There's even more stuff in there than we've talked
Frost
about here.
Lord
There's,
Stone,
some new
Frost
rules
Lord
for
on
the
Stonehorn
General
centerpiece.
There's a whole bunch of stuff. This is a packed Journal Tactica, which really
female
shines a light on an
tyrant
area
the size of a
Horus Heresy
guo.
we've not looked at before, so it's quite
Yeah,
exciting.
and that's the best kind of Horus Heresy games. Ones where you're going back to those iconic moments in the lore and refighting it. Like, what if it was a little bit different? What if we had a slightly different mix? What if the tactics were different?
Yeah, absolutely.
Give E Honda the green hand, yeah, but for the 1,000 hits,
sticking
like
with the Age of Darkness, but going a
his
bit
hand just
smaller
starts
as we
turning
look
green
at
after a
some,
while.
Legions Imperialis,
Or possibly bigger.
But yes, bigger and smaller at the
Shimmies
same time. We
forward.
have 3 models we're going to talk about now. These are models for the Titan Legions. This is the Warlord Battle Titan with Quake Cannon and Conversion Beam Extirpator. To extirpate means to destroy utterly.
Hey, well, I hope you're right
and
so I
that is
can
what
hear
the
you
weapon
not on
loadout
stream. I'm muting the mic. I'm muting the
Warlord
mic.
Titan will do. As you see this video playing,
I'm
boy,
turning
you
it
can see
up.
what all the different weapons are. There's a whole bunch, and they have really long and difficult to say live on air names.
I'm just going to play the
such as-
farting on my
still
roommate's
try it.
door
Extirpator.
sound YouTube video
this is
all the way
a-
through.
A kit which will come packaged all
Did you
together. So
see
you get
it?
The Warlord Titan and all of these weapons.
The
includes
Ogre
some extra
Maw
bits and
Pot in the
pieces.
bottom
So
right-hand
there's,
corner of the
some
screen.
guns to go
Oh,
on the turrets. You've got Gatling blasters. And
damn.
constructors. You have 2 Warlord heads inside the kit, and it also contains all the cards you would need to use this if you were playing Adeptus Titanicus.
Nice.
If you just want the weapons, they'll be available separately. You just won't get all the cards with it and stuff like that. Cool. This is one of 3 things we're going to talk about. The next one is the Warlord Battle Titan with Volkite Destructor and Macro Gatling Blaster. Again, not a thing to say too quickly on a Friday night. Here is another towering god.
What did he
engine
mean
of
by
the
that?
Titan Legions. It has a whole bunch of different weapons, which you can see playing out on your screen. They include the Graviton Ruinator, which you can see here. It's the biggest Graviton gun I've ever seen. Volkite Destructor, Macro Gatling Blaster, and the Vulcan Mega Bolter Array, which sits on its shoulders. It also includes a Warlord Titan heads and those cards I mentioned before, if you wanted to play Adeptus Titanicus.
But Adam, what if I had a slightly smaller Titan but still wanted loads of massive guns?
And complicated names, then you are going to be fine, because this is the Titan Legions Reaver Titan with Graviton Obliterator and Volkite Annihilator.
Titan Legions Reaver Titan with Graviton Obliterator and Volkite Annihilator.
Such as the aforementioned Graviton Obliterator, the Volkite Annihilator. It also has
World of
the
Warcraft: The Burning Crusade is the first expansion for the critically acclaimed MMORPG World of
My
Warcraft.
favourite, possibly, of all the names that we've had this evening, which is the Conversion Beam Dissolutor.
Those are some cool guns and some great verbs.
Yeah, it also has a Reaver head and the cards you would need to play in Adeptus Titanicus. And you can get the weapon separately should you desire no more Titans. What's wrong with you? There we go. Pretty exciting should you play Little Heresy.
Absolutely.
There we go. I need to take a breather. Now might be the time to talk a little bit about something coming to Warhammer Plus very soon.
Warhammer
there is
Plus.
a new animation. Look at the Butcher's Nails.
The Butcher's Nails.
That looks a bit good, Eddie. What can you tell
Damn,
us
that
about
Imperial
Butcher's
Fist
Nails?
got
Yes, this
fisted.
is a new animation coming to Warhammer TV for Warhammer Plus subscribers. It is a one-off standalone episode, so it's a Hammer and Bolter episode of Warhammer 40,000.
Butcher mentioned
and
it's an
effectively,
ogre.
It tells the story of a
It's an
Khorne
ogre
berserker
thing.
who is part of a chaos assault on an Imperial stronghold. As you would imagine for a World Eater story, it
I mean,
is
the
incredibly
cutscene was pretty
violent. It is
alright,
by
you know?
some margin the bloodiest and most violent piece of Warhammer animation we have yet featured on Warhammer TV, and it is pretty much non-stop carnage from the moment
It did look a
that,
lot like a video game trailer.
shots open to the final battles.
Fantastic. Here you can see a shot that we saw something like this
original
in the trailer.
Doom
This looks like the head-up
movie
display inside
sequence.
the helmet of the World Eater.
Yeah, so not all of it, but some of the animation is shown from the literal perspective of the World Eater, who is obviously a little bit unhinged. The Butcher's nails are starting to bite. If he doesn't get continuous kills and carnage, he starts to go kind of slowly insane. And he basically is chopping his way through as many enemies as he can find, partly to try and achieve victory, but mostly just to try and make the whining of the nails cease even for the briefest of moments.
Fantastic. And we got a sense of who was fighting, but what's the battle between who?
I mean, he almost really, he doesn't really mind what the battle is, really. Khorne doesn't care as long as the blood flows. There are definitely some...
the World Eater will say, wow, it's just like a video game.
Guardsmen who have to stand up against
Just like
berserker.
my
There are
Japanese
some Space Marines in the
manhwa.
Imperial Fist. There's some other Chaos Space Marines in the mix
I'm sure
as well.
don't get in the way
They'll
at
get
all.
on fine, I'm sure.
Lovely.
You know, it's not like they're known for betrayal or anything. It's all good.
Hey, can I watch it on Netflix?
But yes, it's going to be a
The platform that was right
non-stop
there to sell all
action
this
carnage
to?
fest.
No?
It's a really fun animation.
Perfect.
eat shit,
And
I
coming out fairly
guess.
soon.
It comes out in
No
August.
thanks.
Awesome. That's very exciting. So, from the Butcher's Nails and Warhammer Plus, let's go to the Mortal Realms for something more.
Everyone shut the fuck up.
Opens, hungering predator,
The Morah.
eater, the gulping god.
They look weird.
I see his will in the meat, in the marrow, in the
Iron
blood.
guts.
He is the hunger that endures through winter and war.
The Slaw
He calls
Massa.
us to feast, to swallow the realms.
Very Mortal Kombat.
Eat, eat.
The Butcher.
First we're gonna beat 'em, then we're gonna eat 'em. First we're gonna beat 'em, then we're gonna eat 'em.
Hams fan thinks it's tier 1.
We're gonna beat 'em, then we're gonna eat 'em. First we're gonna beat 'em, then we're gonna eat 'em. His champion comes.
Oh shit.
That was very exciting to see such a large amount of models coming.
Why did you zoom right in on the cock?
Ogre Tribes. Eddie, where do we even start?
I am super excited about this release. This is an enormous range refresh for the Ogre Tribes. There's so much to talk about. I think let's start with the army set, which is coming out. This is the first
Ghostbusters
place you'll get
only.
a chance to get your hands on some of the new miniatures. This is an enormous army launch set, a little bit like what we've seen with some of the armies recently.
like the Helmsman.
Enormous
exactly like the
army.
Helmsman, same sort of concept. You get a cool version of the battle tome and the first chance to get hold of a bunch of the miniatures. Let's have a quick chat about some of the stuff in this set.
Sure. So first out the gates would be sort of the mainstay unit for the Ogre Tribes. These are the Gluttons, the sort of replacement or
Gluttons look
refresh
good.
of what,
Iron Guts look
in
good.
old days you might have called Ogre
Heroes
Bulls.
look good.
Boy, do they look good.
Yeah, the Ogre Bulls are still really cool models, like,
Yeah,
but they are they've been around for a while now. They're more than 20 years old.
Shocked me with
Yeah,
that
I'm
one.
sorry about that.
23 years old, bro.
So they are well and truly deserving of a refresh. This is a really cool update for them. They still
big.
keep the kind of general aesthetic of the Ogre Bulls, but they're much more dynamic. They're a little bit bigger. The armor plates
Okay, so
are
we
much
have
more
not
impressive.
we have not
they-
updated the theme.
They're
We're
designed
just
to deflect
sticking with
downward
it.
Yeah,
blows
and
away
if you
from the
remember, like
shoulders
the
as
gut
well.
plates
first
are
time those
fucking
models came out, they were
big.
designed for Warhammer Fantasy, where they'd have to rank up. So actually, the poses were quite sort of
Yeah,
limiting on a
very
lot of the
dynamic
miniatures.
here, aren't they?
These are much like cooler, more
These are
impressive
puffin
poses.
stuff
Even things like having
ogres.
those arms out. They just look really great. The detail on them is obviously 20 years on from the last time we saw the Ogre Bulls. So these are really, really cool miniatures. You get 10 of these in that launch box. This is only the most basic of the Ogre
10 of these in the
units.
lunch
Let's move
box?
on to, I think, might be one of my favorites.
Yeah, so mine too. I think the Iron Guts have always looked really
Iron
cool,
Guts
and
just
these are
big.
even cooler if possible. The Iron Guts are an elite ogre unit. They carry
And their weapons are
enormous
just
weapons,
actual
and they wear
slabs
more
of
armor.
metal.
So you can see those armor plates on the arms going all the way up to the shoulders. Their helmets are a little bit fancier, and they've got these massive two-handed weapons.
They look like they mean absolute business,
Yeah,
right?
no
Like
kidding.
the size of those weapons, and again, much more dynamic, but those blades are about twice the size of a mortal human, right? So they're going to make an absolute mess. They already are an excellent unit in Warhammer Age of Sigmar. They're still an excellent unit, and now the miniatures are even better as well.
Yeah, absolutely. To keep this rabble in line, you need an Ogre
Ogre,
Tyrant.
Japan.
So this model is a multi-part kit. He
This
enables you to
guy,
build
he
him in
looks
a couple
weird.
of
I don't like
ways.
his head. I don't like his neck.
A really powerful, heavy.
He looks like
ogre character.
he's got mega
He has a
gargant
couple of the options.
DNA.
I love this one with the fur cloak. It sort of fits into the more sort of.
I don't know if I
huntery
love
style
it.
thing
I
you
don't
can
like
do
his
with an
face.
Ogre army where you want to focus more on the beast if you want to, or you can go full gutbuster.
Everything
with this
else
one.
is cool though. It looks
whichever you
hard
prefer,
to do a
Yeah,
head
if you've got
swap.
the kind of Beast Claw Raider,
You
Yeah,
could do a
absolutely.
face.
and I think you
swap.
can obviously have a mix of them as well, but you've got a lot of different ways to kind of lean into different ogre armies, and it's just nice to have a multi-part character, right, where you can immediately start to make him your own. One of the big things about ogres for their entire history is the idea of like big names, right? They carry that through
Yeah.
into this this battle.
Big
tome as well,
names and no
where
unique heroes.
The leader of your force is making literally making a name for himself by achieving various feats. So being able to kind of have the pelts of the things he's defeated on him absolutely makes sense. Those units we've all seen before in different ways.
Yeah,
The
this is
next
nothing
unit
I can't
effectively
fix.
A new type. These are the Maul Beast Cavalry and the Maul Beast Raiders. This is a
I
two
don't
for
like
kit, so
them
you
at
can make
all.
two different units. They function in a similar way. Both of them are cavalry units.
They made them
the Maul
fucking
Beast
pugs.
Raiders are your kind of fast-moving scout unit. The Maul Beast Cavalry
don't like
are your
it.
hard-hitting shock cavalry. They're a little bit more armored. The guy in the back has more weapons, whereas the Morbius Raiders have some ranged attacks.
Yeah.
These effectively replace the Mournfang cavalry in your ogre list.
Sure.
They fill a similar sort of role in the army.
Yeah, and we'll
Horns
talk a
aren't
little
big
more about
enough.
just how tough they are.
They
and
need
how
a
hard they hit
snoot.
in a little while. So these are all the models that come inside that new ogre army set.
They're just
Obviously,
pit
you need
bulls.
the battle tome and
I don't
the
know.
War Scroll
I don't
cards as
like
well.
it.
This is the battle tome that comes for the ogre Moor tribes inside that set. It's got this lovely
Dogification of
finish to it. You
mounts.
see the tyrant on the front. Obviously, there'll be standard editions.
I mean, they'll
of,
end
you
up
know,
looking
out
better than
time,
Mournfang
models
just because
separately.
they're
But if you want
20
first in
fucking
on the new
years
ogres,
later, but
this is the way. It wasn't all we saw in that
aesthetic, I
awesome
don't
video,
know.
though. Do you want to show the box?
Yeah,
It's
I've
pretty
got
cool.
the box right
Got the
here. So
box.
this is the box.
Yeah.
It's really lovely. That is all the stuff you get in there. So just to confirm, you get 10 of those gluttons. You get the
yeah,
tyrants,
it
you get
looks like
2
the
of
Cruel
cavalry,
Boys guy
and
did
you get
this.
that
I'm going to
big
be
unit
honest.
Of Iron Guts, and then you get your battle tome in there as well. So it's a really lovely set.
Fantastic. Right. So, what else is there to talk about? Well, I guess we saw some things which fit in a different sort of part of the ogre army with the sort of Moor Seekers component, right?
Yeah, so one of the bits of the ogre force is the kind of tyrant and the iron guts and things like that. But another fairly major part of ogre society
Is the
are the
butcher.
Moor Seekers, the butchers, and the things that follow in the
And the
butcher's wake.
slaughter
The
master.
butcher again is a model that's been out for a very long time, well worth an update. This model is a phenomenally cool
He's
upgrade.
also deeply
Big.
disturbing.
Yeah, I think you've got some strong feelings on exactly how
The
unpleasant
sloth.
this particular model.
Really
The model's
unsettling.
great, but he's definitely a bit grim, isn't
And
he?
the longer you look, the more disturbing it gets. The way he's holding the corpse in his hand,
Shitter VT.
sloshing around in his cauldron,
TY for the
and
big
all this
raid of
for what is
18.
essentially
We're watching
a
the ogre
really
reveal.
beefy
It's
ogre wizard.
time.
Yeah,
Ogres,
butchers
my
are
lord.
sort of part wizard, part chef, part shaman,
Yeah, a little
part mystic,
sumo.
To the ogres. They're really important to ogre society. Ogre society basically is all about eating. All ogres at their core have this
Kind
kind
of looks like
unending hunger,
Gagamaru.
which
Any
they interpret
any
as the will
sumo
of the
fans
god,
in the chat?
Moor, who may or may not be part of the great
This is
pantheon of
Gagamaru
Ork, depending on which
Unleashed.
ogre you speak to, and butchers try to tap into that arcane power, that kind of godly power, and manifest it as various different spells. A lot of
Google
their
fat
magic is to do
guys
with
from
consuming
Blade
something
movie.
and then manifesting that into magic in some way, shape,
Yeah,
or form.
absolutely. There are more devotees of the Gulping God coming. This is one of those kits. These are the Ogre Cleavers, and they are kind of like butchers in training, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
these are fanatics of ogre society who follow in the wake of the butchers. They do
So
a
they're
range of
sous
different things.
chefs.
After a battle, they'll collect up all the various body parts and offal and bits of enemies to throw into the cauldron for the butcher.
wrong at
They
this.
are kind of fanatically driven disciples of the butchers and of the god Moor.
The combination of the miniatures design team and the heavy metal painting
Yes,
team
Shep.
have really just worked.
I really
up a
I need to
horror
know
with
Yeah,
it.
I
what
mean,
the
Blood of the
base
Blood God
size
is
is because
absolutely
It's crying out.
hopefully these are like
Gore up to the
60s or
elbows,
some shit. I want
cauldrons
this
full of
army to be
offal.
fucking
These are
huge.
Incredible. They're not
Please.
the only things within this Moor Seeker collective. That
Oh, look
kit
at this
also
dude.
makes another option. So you can either make the cleavers that you saw there, or you can make
Oh, the
these, which are
Creevers.
Gutseers.
Oh, and they
Yeah,
got
Gutseers are even more
got brain
horrible
coral.
and sinister than the
Not
butchers,
this
if you
guy,
can
but the-
imagine
the
that.
other one.
These have tapped into the power of Moor, and
brain
the way that they
coral,
work in game is that your wizards
gutplate.
become more powerful and can effectively cast spells through these guys when they're nearby. The thing that I really like about them from a miniature perspective
They're
is those
40s or
gut plates.
50s
If you
probably.
look at the gut
Still
plates on something
40s,
like the
Tyrant
Iron
is
Guts,
50.
they have just armored guts, whereas
You know,
these
they look like teeth, maybe. But
yeah,
these
these
have got-
guts look like intestines or offal or
and they're
or
kind
guts,
of rendered in
basically.
really like arcane parody. There's
I
something
love
very
it. I think it's
disturbing
really.
going on.
They look like they'd be loads of fun to paint.
Yep. And then, of course, at the centre of all of this is Red the Moor. This is the High Slaughtermaster, sort of like the head of this cult of the Gulping God.
Wait.
Eddie, what can you tell us about Red?
unnamed
This is
character
a
for
brand
the
new
first
character
time
for
in
the
10
Ogre Moor
years.
tribes.
Let's go.
This is one of the most powerful characters in your Ogre army. One of the most powerful characters in all of Age of Sigmar. Goes to battle on this enormous kind of cauldron construct that's pulled into battle by a Gorger. Gorgers are the other part of that
It's
kind of
big.
Moor Seeker grouping. So Moor Seekers covers your butchers, your Gorgers, and all the kind of various fanatics that follow in their wake. You've got this enormous cauldron, which I assume is where the enemy army goes after the battle. They get thrown in there.
Yeah, put 'em in there.
And this is both an incredible miniature, but also an incredibly powerful piece for
Kind
your
of
Age
big.
of Sigmar
Dude,
army.
this
We'll have
is
a little
very
look at some of the moves
customizable.
around it later.
We're putting a
And
spider
in lore
walker
terms,
underneath
this is the
that
high prophet, the high priest
pot
of the
immediately.
Gulping God. So ogres from across the realms flock to Red the Moor to hear what they've got to say.
I love the fact it's being pulled into battle by a Gorger as well. That's just really cool. So
One of the most
all
powerful
these
characters in
models
Age of
are
Sigmar.
coming
Yeah, I'm going
in
to
the
quote
not too
that
distant future
from the
for
stream,
Ogre
and then
Moor
I'm
tribes.
going to...
Obviously, we need a battle tome to learn all about it, and so there will be the standard edition on the left or the gamers edition on the right.
Oh, I forgot. We gotta hit a.
Yeah, so I mean, this is a huge and
We gotta hit a
sizable
thumbnail.
update of things for the Ogre More Tribes. We've shown you almost all of the new models
But not
for the
all.
Ogres. There's a couple more things on the way. The other thing that's worth saying is a couple of the existing units do stick around as well. So particularly some of the big Beastclaw Raider.
We got a thumbnail out of
monsters.
that?
So
We're
if you've
good?
got some things like Stonehorns and stuff in your army. You can still absolutely use those, and they work really nicely alongside that Tyrant, which we have one on the table here, done up as a.
It's got that beast claw.
Yeah,
vibe
got the kind of
going on,
beast
hasn't it?
claw vibe. There with I'll turn him around.
Show me the
so you
beast
can have
claw.
pelt on his back, which is really cool.
Fantastic.
Please show me
Should we
the
have a little
beast
bit of a
claw.
look at some of the rules?
Yeah,
and
let's do
things
it.
And what you'll find inside the battle tome. So these are the faction rules, the battle traits for your ogres. What can you tell us, Eddie?
Yeah, so we're not going to go through the entirety because there's a big old page of
Screen
rules
grab
there.
if
But
you really
yeah,
wanna
if you're an
know.
ogre player or you want to know what you're going to be up against in Age of Sigmar, take your screens grab now. Fundamentally, they've got two big army special rules. The first of the army rules is if you are in combat with an enemy unit at the end of the turn, or you've defeated an enemy unit in combat, so eaten them basically, you can
Okay.
just have some lunch. You can
Have a
take a chunk out of the enemy unit you're fighting, and you can get a bunch of different rules. So this encourages your ogre army to just get stuck in. If they're in the middle of the enemy army, they can start getting.
I have to
bonuses.
maintain
There's some
like a-
really strong stuff in there. You've got stuff like
Like a
running
not
charge.
impressed
You can
face.
make the unit harder to kill, make them hit harder. You can mess with enemy wizards, all sorts of stuff.
Fantastic. Go on.
And then you've got the other special rule in there,
Yeah.
which is basically like a special thing where when you charge into an enemy unit, you can basically say, would you like to stay where you are and take the ogre's charge, in which case you take a bunch of mortal wounds, or you can say, well, I'll give you the opportunity to move backwards if you like, in which case your opponent immediately cedes ground to your ogres. So it's really good for shifting units off objectives.
Yeah, absolutely. And getting hit by that wall of iron. And
You know how you
no
shift
joke.
units off of objectives
Obviously,
by
the,
fucking killing
war scrolls
them.
have been looked at as well. So these are the Maulbeast cavalry that we showed you.
Damn,
before.
I
They
don't
come
like
with
its
the army
stupid
set.
fucking face.
And I
Look
talked
at this
about how
shit.
just
I don't like it.
devastatingly powerful they are. The gut bite weapons do damage 3. The Maulbeasts do damage 2, 3 on the charge.
Range 2 damage
These
3.
hit you like a landslide. So many attacks, incredibly dangerous.
I think this is a really powerful unit. If
Still
you're
have
familiar with
counter-
the way that ogres
counter
work
charge
today,
thing.
you'll know how Mournfang cavalry work. You'll be
3
familiar
up
with the stats.
save.
A lot of the stats are
Very
fairly similar to Mournfangs, but
interdasting.
across the board, wherever there's a change, it tends to be a bit better. For the Maulbeast cavalry, they are a really tough unit to deal with because they're excellent on the charge, because they're bonuses to charge, but they're
Roll
also
die
excellent
on a
when
3
being
up.
charged. So they're a really hard unit to kind of solve for your enemy. I think just a couple of these on the flanks would do great, or even investing on a big double-sized unit and slamming it into the middle of the enemy army could be very powerful.
Yeah, and you can see some of the special rules and things that are going on there, but I love the Ravenous counterattack rule. That means that you can be quite daring with them as a sort of like scouting units in your force. Brilliant. We talked a little bit about Red the Moor. Here is rules. There is a lot to take in.
18,
Yeah,
4,
this is one of the
6-inch
kind of
move,
big,
10.
kind of big name special characters
Not
of the
supposed to
ogres as well. We're
fight.
not going to go through everything on the sheet. Feel free to take a screenshot and peruse it at your leisure. The things to call out are this is an incredibly durable character. 18 wounds, a 4-up save, and a ward save means that you've got to throw
a lot,
you've got to
right?
throw a lot
Oh,
of
and a
stuff at this
5-up
guy before
ward.
he goes down.
Okay, okay.
A level 2 wizard, as always going to be
Durable.
useful. The thing to really shout out is that command ability, where effectively you can pick an ogre unit nearby, and that unit can benefit from as if it was in combat with an enemy unit. So all of those big list of buffs that you've got in your army special rules, you can just give those out to units nearby for a command point, and you can do some great stuff with that. You've got one of them
Well, we
in
can
there
do
which is
that
run and
now.
Charge. So right from the off, you can be like, I really want one of my
But I
units
guess
in
it's
combat
getting
first turn.
limited.
You can just do it.
Holy
You've
12.
also got an ability that gives
Okay.
ward saves to loads of nearby units. So this is just an absolutely really useful linchpin unit for the middle of your army.
Fantastic. So that's a lot of great stuff coming all on the way.
Most
for,
powerful unit in the
Realms
game.
With the Ogre Moor Tribes and this incredible range refresh.
Yeah, we've got some close-ups here.
Should we
We've got
have a look?
just a sense of how big they are. I don't know if we've got a human for
I
scale.
tried to hold that
Maybe
one
18,
for another thumbnail.
maybe.
So we're getting good thumbnails
So
this stream.
here you've got Red the Moor in the middle. You can see the size of him. He's really an absolute beefcake.
The size of him.
And this enormous cauldron that he's got that's just full of offal. He's great big
I mean,
staying around the cauldron.
like it's a pot,
here
but
on
they
the
just
side,
kind of
you can
put
see
guys
the,
on the base. You
Ogre
couldn't think of
Butcher.
something bigger
Really quite an
to.
impressive model in his own right.
You couldn't think of something
again,
bigger
this
to
huge
do
cauldron,
instead
if I
of just
spin him
fill
around, you
up
can
the
see just
space
how
with guys.
detailed these models really are.
You know, like a Frost Lord
Some
maybe.
Hold loads of things going on the back, but sort of he's got these animal horns and things, so they look like they're carrying trophies and things all around. Just really great. It's an incredible looking kit.
Yeah.
I think the
you get a
miniatures
sense
team
of the
have.
size of him because that's a human, right? That he's holding on the butcher.
Yeah, no
there,
kidding.
So,
He's got half a person.
yeah, got half a person there.
It's pretty gross.
It looks about as big as that
anyway,
robot they
these
put
have
on the
disturbed me
stage
for long
before.
enough. I'm really excited to see them come out. I think they're going to make quite a wave within the Mortal Realms.
Yeah, it all looks
We are still not
positively
done yet. There is
beefy.
still more awesome stuff to talk about in this big summer preview. Next, we're going down to the Underhive.
Frostlord where? Hat goes off. I return to my slumber. Yeah, I figure we're not getting it. But they did. Can you chill with the butt rock real quick? Thank you.
Welcome back and welcome to the Underhive with a new edition of Necromunda Skirmish. This is very exciting. I'm a big fan of Necromunda. I've played it since I was a
Okay,
16-year-old
so
boy.
at the end of the
Great
video,
to see a new
they
edition
did
come.
show
It's essentially
a
an additional
giant
set for Necromunda,
elephant leg
and this core
and
set
a little
here,
bit of an
this is a
undercarriage,
two-player
okay?
battle box.
And
It's the
it looked
perfect
nothing
fit
like a
for
Frostlord
existing
or a
Necromunda. We'll talk about
Thundertusk or anything like that. So
Here you
it,
see on the screen,
you
it
know, the
pictures
dream is
the
dead there.
sorry, crikey.
But it did look
My
fucking
gang
big.
automatically. It pitched the
And so
Goliaths
now
against the Escher
my
in a classic
complete
house
copium
matchup.
is,
Let's have a look at some of the kits that come with
if it
We've got a box
is
here, which we
like
can
a
use as prop.
Thundertusk or an
Some
elephant,
great,
because it looked a little
illustrations.
elephantoid,
Contains
you know,
two gangs,
that
with
would
the
be
box. The first
potentially
is
so
the
cool.
blades
If it's a
of
big
Nature.
pig,
This is all new models. We've
I'm
released these
furious.
before, and there's some fantastic options in
Iron-
at the back. For example,
look.
you can see a huntress with auto pistols and multi.
Iron Jaws have
On
the
right-hand
pig
side,
stuff
you've got
already.
one,
Fuck
which
off.
is, a blade maiden with a
I don't
short
want
whip.
pigs.
You've got the,
Don't like them.
Ken
Add it to the
Ken
list.
Witch,
Right
you've
next
got
to
the
birds and
auto
monkeys. Fuck,
crazy
I hate
looking flamer
pigs.
thing that you
Get
can
them
see
out.
towards the back.
No
Lots of
hogs.
fantastic options.
Hopefully it's an
Fill out
elephant
an Escher,
or a Thundertusk.
gang. If you've already got an Escher gang, you'll
We
probably
can
want
only
to
hope.
It gives you even more options and even more fantastic models. This is also
So
a
we're
perfect
there is
example of
there is
Escher
potentially
gang
another
device. You
centerpiece.
could never have played a game of Necromunda. And these
I'm
are
holding
on
out.
point. They go head to head with the Goliaths. These are the Forge Smelters. Goliaths, the House of Chains, known for their sort of industrial power. And
Yeah,
all of these,
hey,
like,
it could be a
really
rhino.
muscled,
John
stiff
Doe,
armed
you're right.
warriors,
That would be cool.
carrying weapons which can't have an
Hippo,
industrial grip,
no.
so it's got the heavy stubber at the back.
Brachiosaurus, I'd do a Brachiosaurus.
Less familiar. For
Elephants,
example,
sure.
Trumper, Riveter Cannon
You know,
on
we
the
used to
right-hand
have
side,
woolly
Goliath is
rhinoceros
holding that.
cats,
You've also got things
and they
like
were
the,
called
the
Mornfang,
Serpent
but unfortunately they turned them into stupid dogs. But they're fucking beefy. But I don't like their heads. I don't like their heads at all. So I don't know how to feel about that. How do I feel about this? As I talk over the entire Necromunda reveal. Sorry, Necromunda fans.
Two fantastic gangs.
You know, I never was really a gutbuster half kind of guy. But in my head, I'm like, well, if they were bigger and looked awesome, then that's fine.
You also have some terrain to position your gang behind to start playing.
These are pretty good.
Essentially,
we'll see if they're on 40s or 50s, you know. But yeah, they're pretty good. They look properly monstrous, big, extra large gut plates. It looks very paintable. Some of their armor looked kind of gooby a little bit, but I'm gonna blame the paint job on that one. Very big, wide open surfaces everywhere to work on skin tones and stuff. A painter's, you know, kind of before they were a little bit of a painter's army with so much skin and open flat spaces, still are. We didn't see any lead belchers, so that's really bad. And you can see them all no Frostlord Thundertusk, that's really bad, and the Mornfang look worse now. But I'm very happy for the Gutbuster half, because that shit looks great.
You essentially make one purchase to start an entire Underhive crew of your own. I'm a big fan of Necromunda. I've played it for years and years. I've got a really big...
It doesn't exactly blow my dick off or anything.
Like essentially everything you need for a really fantastic...
It's just like good.
Crew.
Do you remember everyone's reaction to the
About
Slaves to
continuing on
Darkness in the
with
old
it,
world?
obviously, this
I'm
box
not
contains
feeling
everything.
that.
If you just wanted the Necromunda rulebook, say you've got loads of Necromunda stuff and you don't want to buy a new the core box for some mad reason, then you can just buy the Necromunda rulebook. This is a large hardback book. It's just packed with lore and rules and all the good things that you would want to know.
It's 100% a hippo. I hope to God not.
They've made updates to the rules.
Please no.
Every role feels like it really matters. Games are very exciting. I'm really excited to sink my teeth into it. If you've got an existing gang and you want
Yeah,
to
the Butcher was good. The Butcher was good. The Slaughtermaster is good.
for you. These are gangs of the Underhive,
Iron
which
Guts
deal with those
and
6
Gluttons
gang
and
houses we
stuff.
talked about before,
Good.
along with various hangers-on and hired guns.
They're pretty
And you've got
nice.
gangs of the Outland, which deals with those gangs and sort of Necromunda
The
denizens.
dude on the
operate
Mawpot feels
outside
like
of the
a.
normal
It's
sphere.
a little bit of an
Things like
empty
the Ironhead
base
prospectors
syndrome,
or the
you know?
Ashways nomads, and you'll find their rules along with the various hangers.
Like, there's a lot of empty space there, and it's just kind of guys standing on the base.
Gangs of the book that you need,
That's not a
and you
real
are
problem,
good to
though,
go
because
with
you put that
Necromunda
Mawpot on
skirmish.
top of something. Like it's
Still
a.
more.
It's a Kit Basher's paradise.
Really useful
That
to have on
thing.
the side of the table. You've got the core gang tactics.
So,
cards. I
it's
find
not like a
having,
real
physical
complaint.
Things really useful. But when I'm playing Necromunda, it's a very tactile game.
And I like the
You've also got
BCR themed
scenario
Tyrant
cards
too.
which
Yeah.
help organize your campaign and get your games flowing really nicely. Also, if you want to like enhance your
And
battlefield,
we
get
got
your
one
game
named
going,
guy,
there's an
which is pretty
enormous range
nice.
of fantastic Necromunda scenery and terrain. The Zone Mortalis range is big and beautiful, and there's an addition.
You'll put him on whatever BCR model is retired.
Inside that core set, and there's even more if you
Yeah,
buy
we'll
this
see.
Victoria Pipes box.
I feel like
Yeah, I think
Gorgers
that's
are
one of my
just
favourite
the
things
new
about
Yetis,
Necromunda
and that's
is when you
fine
start
because
to
the
see
Gorgers
people,
look
like,
pretty
really
nice,
lean into the
monstrous
scenery,
and
they've got
stuff.
their
Those are
Zone
kind of
Mortalis
cool.
bit, and then they start building up, and you get the
Turn the
pipes
pot
and
into
the ways you can
Alexander
have,
from
like,
Elden Ring.
pipes
Hell
across
yeah,
the
with some
gantries
arms
that
on
can
it.
shoot people down from higher up and all that sort of good stuff.
I'm gonna put it on
My favourite games
Mega
are Necromunda always
Gargant
played on multiple
probably,
levels, and you can blast someone off a 12-inch.
but we'll see. We'll see what I'm doing with
I
it.
do like a bit of ash waste every now and again, though.
Yeah, yes, I agree, but there's something I like.
There is something cool about, like, having a little
cross
cross-section of a city.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw that for the first time, and it just blew my mind. If you've never played Necromunda before, this really is a perfect jumping on point. Necromunda is a really exciting game. Ask any Necromunda fan, and they will like enthuse about it. How great it is. And if you are an existing Necromunda fan and you're looking for new challenges, this is really great because the rules have been tweaked and streamlined, and there's going to be new secrets.
On the cover of the Battle Tome, there's a rhino that doesn't quite look like the Mornfang things. Okay, searching.
The narrative that's been unfolding for the past few years, the Aranthi
Searching now.
succession, is kind of done with, and I'm really excited to see where the team responsible for Necromunda take it in this new era. It's going to be cool.
Yeah.
And we are still
There's
not
more.
done. Yep,
Oh.
we are sticking around in the 41st millennium, but we're going to go to Warhammer 40,000 Kill Team with this.
Scrolling.
After years of searching, we're closing in
Okay, shut up.
on something
So,
unseen for decades.
that's a rhino. But it's the size of a Mornfang, probably. You know what? It might just be a different... It might be an alternative head. Dude, if Mornfang have an alternative head, then we're saved, actually. Then we're saved. Also,
We are alive and well in this year of 2026.
no, it's got like a little horn on it, but not...
on their 2026 Warhammer bingo card.
Oh wait, no. I think it is different
Really, right?
because there's
This
no
is
there's no
awesome.
maw
So
poles on
obviously,
these
every time
guys.
we have a new Kill Team box set, it's very exciting. This one,
And
I
this thing
think,
has a
will be
maw pole
particularly
on it.
interesting, not just for fans of Kill Team, but for
Unless it
fans
was
of
just
Warhammer
drawn
40,000
before the model was done or
X-Knights, one of
something.
those last untapped awesome bits of Warhammer 40,000 lore. Whenever we get to kind of unveil a cool new corner of the Millennium,
There was something else too up here.
I absolutely fall into that little corner.
If you don't know what Exile
Oh,
is,
yeah, just no
very
cover.
briefly, when the Eldari Society was starting to sort of way back before the fall, starting to fall into decadence and depravity, the Exiles were like, no, thank you very
All right,
much.
now what are
And
they talking
left
about?
Main Society, and they settled on places
Kill Team,
far
sure.
flung from the mainstay of Eldar Society called Maiden Worlds.
Beautiful jungle planets full of rich flora and fauna and full of all sorts of weird, wonderful creatures.
Absolutely.
And then when Eldar
They
Society
had two build options.
was
That could
destroyed
save it.
in the fall,
Yeah.
Exodites are one of the few remaining.
It could be
left.
saved. I'm gonna
Now
click
in
on
the Blood
Discord real
Millennium,
quick here.
They have these pockets of idyllic beautifulness across Warhammer 40,000.
HeyWoah
Obviously,
2.
This being Warhammer 40,000, if you've got something lovely.
Somebody said they had a screen cap of the end of it.
There's always a war coming.
Nice.
So whenever their planets are invaded, they have to defend them with whatever tools they can find available, and the closest thing available is giant reptilian beasts that they can ride into battle.
Should we have a look at the
crush their
models?
foes with.
So,
Allotech
here we go. These are the
with the
Exodite
screen
Dragon
cap.
Masters. Eddie, this is a very unusual kill team, right?
Yeah, so
This
is a kill team, first
is
and foremost. It is really
probably a
really
rhino.
Really fun, unusual kill team. It is effectively 3 models and 2 little hangers on, so it's immediately.
This is probably a rhino.
In terms of
look at the
how it
foot.
plays in kill team, it
Pigs
plays in a really
have
interesting
cloven hooves.
way. All of your units have APL.
Unguent.
4, which is wild.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
this is not a
do
pig.
All sorts of cool maneuvers.
And
they are
potential
very, very
tail
fast,
thing,
as you
maybe.
Imagine faster than almost anything else in kill team.
So it's like a siege rhino. Oh, siege rhino! Holy shit! It's gonna enter and drain the table.
Think again, because
Trample.
a giant reptilian with an Eldari warrior on the back is racing towards
4
you, ready to chop
5.
your head off. You have 3 very
Okay,
different
siege rhino could be
characters in there.
cool.
Effectively, you've got a warrior archetype, a
There's
mage
still hope.
archetype, and a sniper archetype, and they all do very different things for your kill team.
Yeah, so here on the screen you can see the 3 different ones laid out. Essentially, you
Wait,
have
what are
the
they talking
Clan
about?
Mode, which is the close combat one.
Exodite
the
teams?
Blade
I don't care.
Stalker, which is the one with the sniper rifle.
Looking kind of good except for the head.
which is the
We'll see
Exodite
how many different head
Orks,
options they have though.
And then they also have these little beasts that run around with them. And those are
Alternative
called
face model.
And they look familiar.
Could
to,
save it.
You know kind of how Eldar Craft World
This
works. There's
dude.
a little bit of the Autark to this one. There's a little bit of the Farseer to this one.
Pretend there's a different head there.
Ranger.
Looking
So
good.
they have a kind of common ancestry with the Eldar of the Craft Worlds, but they have gone off in a slightly different sort of culture.
Helmets are weird.
The biggest difference really
We're keeping the Mongol stuff, but no mustaches because the Mongol mustaches apparently. I don't know, that's racist or something.
Kill team, and I think probably going to be a very popular kill team.
We're looking properly big.
It's not the only thing you get in this box. You've also got a bunch of orcs in here. So the way that the orcs
He's got the Homer
work
Simpson
in this
fade.
is a little bit like the Red Terror set that we had recently, where they
Oh, we're not using this. We're not using this head.
And you can play a bunch of different games against these, either as a 1-player or a 2-player series. There is a campaign in the box which tells the story of an orc war.
Our
which has
culture.
landed on this planet. The orcs who are beasts.
The culture is still here.
Monsters, and they're like, this is a paradise. Look at all these.
beasts.
Look at all these giant beasts we can hunt. The Eldar are obviously
Okay,
much less
fucking
keen on that than the orcs, and they have to try and
bag.
drive off the orcs so you can play through this campaign.
Big
Also,
weapon.
of course, all the stuff in
I kinda
the box
like
you can
the-
also use in Warhammer 40,000
The hip
as well.
tusks here. Good work.
Shout out to that
Nice
Kill Team
big
Exodite book.
choppler.
It's really cool. I got to have a look through it the other day. It's got great lore in it. There's stories.
Ogre with big
perspectives
Down
of
syndrome.
the
Yeah,
Eldar
I'm not
Exodite.
using those
There's
heads.
also,
They think that's
that
funny.
campaign has some great
But
missions in it. There's guides on how to set up make your battlefield to look like a maiden world. It's a
it
wonderful.
looks like you could very easily trim this if you thought it was too big or use a different
Worth saying,
helm.
One of the other ways that you
Probably
can build
will.
up the kill team that you get in this set is as another unit, which is called the.
They're supposed to be
Dragon
like
Knight.
tusks,
These
I
are the
guess.
archetypal, I suppose.
Or jowl
the closest thing we've
tusks.
got
You know,
to,
the aesthetic is all
classic
over the
version
place
of
with
an
it.
Exodite. Very reminiscent of some of the very cool Warhammer 40,000 art from some of the early editions. This is
Okay, the mouth
effectively
closed
a
one
fast
looking really
cavalry
derpy.
unit
Looking
of
derp.
Exodites riding on those huge reptilian beasts.
Open face
They
one
work
is
a
alright.
little
I
bit
bet I
with
see
Game
these
of
in real
Thrones, like
life and they're
your Shining
better.
Spears, where they can
They're nice and
charge in.
thick though.
They
They're
actually have
properly
laser lances, which
large.
is the same weapon that Shining Spears have, so they punch pretty hard. But as well as the
He has the
riding
punch
fighting
fist.
good.
Is that no? That's a sword. We're just seeing too much foreshortening.
Absolutely. So they hit really, really hard. They are they're not super durable, but they're a little bit more durable.
The
than some of
emo,
other
just
kind of
give it a
units you might
give it
find
one
in
bigger
Eldar. Obviously,
eyebrow
they're
that's a little
not
higher up in
useful
MS
unit. I think
Paint.
You will see them dotted around various Warhammer 40,000 battlefields and Eldar armies quite soon. The other forces in this box, the Dragon Masters, you could also use in Warhammer 40,000, and the way that they work is that each one is effectively an individual character in your Eldari army. So you've got the kind of lone op sniper, you've got your fast-moving hero, you've got a kind of buff support piece. So effectively, this one kill team provides you with 4 different data sheets for Warhammer 40,000 Eldari armies. So it's a really flexible little clump of stuff that you can add into your.
What color do we want? We want red.
So Kill Team Exodite contains 3 Exodites and the 2 Dracolites. Obviously, these models will be available separately down the line. So if you wanted to put loads into your army, that's completely legit.
Kinda like that.
There are loads of reasons that an Eldari force might have Exodites in it as well. When you look at the history of the Eldari, the Craftworld Biel-Tan is so affronted at the state of the Maiden Worlds that they aggressively.
Okay, they might not. They would have shown alternative heads. Maybe they do later. I kind of like this.
those who travel around.
Like the Cape, good Cape game. He's still got a fucking buzzard, the
It's one
bird.
of the main reasons the Eldari come into
Harpoon launcher.
races, right? They don't seek it out particularly, but one of the things that they have.
Where my
is this
chain traps
cultural
at?
Association with these planets, and whenever anyone invades, it's almost like it's sacrilegious, right?
Yeah,
This
sort of protecting the last true
absolutely,
ancient
yeah,
Eldari,
yeah.
really.
This is almost always why the Eldari will get involved in a fight somewhere. Is that the craft worlds can fly off, but
Big.
planets can't really. So when the Imperium shows up and decides to build a forge world
Big
on your
butcher.
wonderful paradise world, you have to kind of go and kick them off.
Yeah, absolutely. It's worth having a look at the
Blur.
models, I think. So here we have
Okay,
a
looking kind of
stumped
monstrous.
beast snagger,
And these are the little,
drafted in,
quote unquote, little
posed,
guys.
And then you can get a sense of the scale of these things when you bring the Exodite up alongside.
And this dude, see how empty this base is?
Really muscular, but they're still.
This could have been more.
Model, and I think they're going to be quite
This could have been a beast carrying the pot. You know, look at all this real estate that they just put two guys on instead. You know,
The leader
in
unit.
particular.
I mean, I'm gonna put a guy there, and you're probably supposed to
Knights is just
find some
really,
monster to put this
really
pot on, or
excellent
put this
feature.
guy on, or
Just
whatever.
kind of
But
straight on
you know,
pose for him. I'd be amazed if we don't see a few of those at Golden Demon.
like 2 out of 10 would not bang.
Banner, obviously, which is lending itself.
I like the
kind of
brain
whatever,
texture
showing
on the
off
outside of the maw
like
pot, and the
go.
guy's okay.
The reptiles they're riding themselves,
But
painted almost any color you can imagine. Right?
fairly
The heavy metal thing here is done
undercooked
for some
centerpiece,
really cool, vivid
if I'm
colour
being
schemes. You
perfectly
can-
honest.
Anything in your paint collection, you could paint these guys. I think they're going to be.
And then the
a
Culto
joy to paint,
guys.
and I can't wait to see them on the battlefield.
Which
Absolutely.
all really want to show you what they just picked up.
who
They're
has
like a
exactly
2-year-old.
2026 Warhammer.
Yeah, I just
I
picked
think
this
at
up.
least
Look at this
3
shit.
people guessed
Well,
when we
you
posted it.
get to
Well
give
done
yourself a
you
little
if you
stamp,
guessed
well
Exodite.
played. I'm delighted.
Okay.
This is they've existed in the lore for such a long time, and it's really exciting to see them
Mixed
on the
feelings.
tabletop in this way before. This is the first time we've ever seen Exodites in plastic, and kind of the first time really we've seen them properly.
I think there was like one little shred of cloth
a little,
on one of the Corsairs.
maybe
had a bit of
an old
scaling.
little metal one for Epic.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Back
Yeah.
in the day, and other than that, they've existed in the stories and in some scattered pieces of artwork. So, what a happy time!
Looking at them,
Very
each set is like a dual
also,
kit, one
the love and
side Beast
passion
Claw
that's
and the
spilled
other
out
side
from
Iron
the stories
Guts.
they told us about them was just
That would go a long way. If true, big if true, big if real.
What else is there to say? We have come to the end of our.
That was a lot of
preview.
stuff, Adam.
It was a lot of stuff, and we said it would be about 90 minutes, and we're very, very nearly there. So thank you if you are still with us and enjoying the Warhammer preview. It's been lovely to have you with us. I should round up. There have been a couple of questions floating around. One of them I can field right now. Somebody asked in the chat, what's the cost to the Warhammer Academy? The cost is nothing. It is free. You'll need to log in and sign up.
Oh,
but
that's
it is
a
designed
surprise.
to help you just get started with your Warhammer journey. So it doesn't cost anything. Just join in and start learning about Warhammer and sort of honing your skills and gaining confidence as you do so. If you've got more questions, well, we've got good news. A few weeks back, Eddie and I did a Q&A, and we had a nice time doing it. So we're going
If
to do
it's
another one
free,
in a
you're the
couple of
product.
weeks. So here is an email address appearing mystically on your screen. Quanda, that is Q&A at preview.warhammer.com. That is where you can start sending your questions. Hopefully, Warhammer-related questions, and specifically about things we've talked about in the preview.
I mean, you can send in any question, but we'll only answer the Warhammer-related ones.
I have
probably.
very few specialist subjects, and most of them revolve around Warhammer. So, yeah, please do send us Warhammer questions to that Q&A in a couple of weeks' time. We'll let you know closer to when it's going to be. We'll go through those questions. We'll pick the best ones.
Yeah,
and
it's
we'll
5
sit
equal
down
10.
and have a little session where we read through them all.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. I guess all that remains then is
Yeah, I
thank
think
you,
so too,
everybody,
Vernal
for
Fool.
coming and joining in this preview. And
That
spending
the
some time with us.
Rhino
And to all
centerpiece
the
is going to be
people
the
behind scenes who pressed
big
buttons and moved
fucker, and
models
then
around and made it all work.
red the
You
maw
are
pot is
champions.
like your
Thank
off
you, Eddie,
centerpiece.
for
It's like
knowing
your
all the
dry
answers.
cha.
Oh, that's all right.
Well, not
Have a great
dry
time.
cha, but
Brilliant.
like,
In that case, until next time, we'll see you
Yeah.
again very soon. Good night.
oh damn. Okay, so one of the rumors was Sons of Behemoth guy. Well, not guy, specifically girl, I think. That must have been Hopium. No new Ale Guzzlers. That's kind of sad on that one. Article confirms more units coming up. I'll be reading it on stream. As we speak. Now, what do we got? Hey, remember when I used to just fucking read the news of AOS because there was fucking nothing to talk about? All right, here it is. The big summer preview. New ogres revealed. There's a whole bunch of new ogres about to stampede into games of Warhammer Age of Sigmar. Ogre Tribes Army Set. First up is the new Ogre Tribes Army Set, which is a veritable feast of new miniatures. It's the first place you can get the new Tyrant. Gluttons, Iron Guts, and Maul Beast Cavalry. And it also includes a set of War Scroll cards and a special edition of the Battle Tome. By special edition, they mean inaccurate, but hey, all right. Cover, the book looks dumb, bad cover, no background. Don't know why they do that. Looking kind of big there. These are 40s. These are probably 40s. And my dude here is on a 50. In my dreams, they're on 50s, and my dude here is on a 60, but I don't see it. Hopefully that's true. Hopefully we get a head swap with this guy. Rather like him. Looking for a head swap. Hey, they made a new Tyrant like 2 years ago that was too small. I wonder what they're going to do with that guy. You know? Tyrants lead ogre armies into battle, and they are only too happy to prove the adage, might makes right. Not only do they need to constantly prove they are bludgeoningly violent, but they are also expected to ensure a regular supply of meat and loot to their war glut. Dude, I almost said surprise. My fucking CJ is making my brain not work. Beast Claw version of Guy. Looking kind of good, obviously, except for the head. The new kit comes with a selection of heads, but he might actually mean like heads dangling from him, because they do have like little heads dangling from them a lot of times. Cleavers, hammers, back banners, and more, making it easy to customize your ferocious war leader. Hopefully it's heads. If so, we're good. Gluttons. Gluttons are hulking, muscle-bound brutes that form the core of many Maw tribes. Thundering into battle like a landslide of flesh, they take great bites out of foes as they bash and hack with their crude weapons in-game. They are an unsubtle unit. Point them at your enemy and smash through enemy lines. Doubling up on the use of the word enemy here. A little bit of a faux pas in copywriting. Would have used a synonym instead. Helmets. I don't know if I like the helmets. I think they look weird. So the reason that they're doing that is because they want the eye line to make them look like an egg, you know, just a giant circle. Like you start here and your eye moves just straight down in a giant loop all the way back up. And it's real quick and easy. This guy too. Maybe it is like a maybe it's like a fake for some rhino head, or making it look like kind of their mounts. A lot of armies tend to put accents on themselves that make them look like beasts or their mounts or stuff like that. These jaws, you know, similar to like how iron jaws actually have like, you know, a helmet with metal teeth on it, you know, that kind of thing. Yeah, these scars make their skin look super thick, which they are. We still kept the punch fists. Do note, we kept the punch fists, and we kept the one hand dipped in blute. The gut plates are way the fuck bigger. But that's good, probably. I wondered what they were going to do with the silly pants, and they just kind of kept them, but made them a little more MC Hammer. A little more hammer time. They look like 4-up save now. I think they just, because of the thick skin and then the even bigger important armor sections, yeah, this is looking a little more like a 4-up than a 5-up. But maybe they just have a shitload of wounds. They just got a shitload of HP and they're still on 5s. Who knows? Looks like we can click through them here. Okay, big hammer. Gugh, dude. Can we get some can we get some genetics in here a little bit? There he is. The culture. They look so retarded. I don't like it. They have alternative heads, okay? We're coping. They have alternative heads. Mom said it's my turn to use the controller. No Noblars. That's a victory. Yeah, big AoE ward save mentioned from the big pot thing. That's true. Sloth from Goonies. Hey, you guys. Hey, you guts. And then Iron Glutes. Looking properly massive with big weps. Very different gut plates. These have the maw on them, and they're completely huge. These gut plates are smaller and a little scaled. The better, otherwise probably couldn't put his foot up, maybe. More hard edges, implying a thicker armor plating. Absolutely massive weapon. Dude, the half pounder? Where's the double quarter pounder? Yeah, wounds and stuff, looking big. Yeah, weapons are good. It's a Mega Nada. Then we got these guys whose faces I don't like at all. But everything else is sick. The Maul Beasts are slavering creatures from the far lands. They are ridden into battle by veteran warriors and fit in well with the Ogre tribes. They are also constantly hungry. It is said that the best way to secure the loyalty of a Maul beast is to wrestle it to the ground and hold its jaws closed for however long it takes for it to submit. Or until it escapes and eats the attempted rider! Exclamation point. Big, Arterius 6 bits. Pugs or ogres, which has more genetics? Let's discuss. Depends on what face you use for the ogres that I've been looking at. Noblard. Wait, what if they made Noblards and they're just like really fat Noblars? No, I don't want to give them any ideas. Keep them out. And then we got ranged version with a crossbow and a blood vulture. Man, the blood vultures used to have a cool rule, and then they had a different but still kind of cool rule, and now they suck. It looks gangly and googly. I'm just going to give him a gun. I'm actually just going to give him a Glock. Nice. Look at that. Tsunabozu kind of desert cape there. These creatures look like Cruel Boy monsters and not ogre monsters. But I guess this is what the new ogre monsters are just going to look like. The Maulbeast Cavalry can alternatively be built as Maulbeast Raiders. Oh, like Beastclaw Raiders, they remembered. These relentless hunters track their prey, wearing them down at range with crossbows before charging in to finish them off. But that's not all. Okay. So we got the Iron Glute version and then the Beast Claw version. Ish. Yeah, shoulder cloak, good shit. Red the Maw. He's big. But his base is a little empty. And it's just stupid little tiny wheelie things here. They could have had, I would have rather had like 3 gigantic guys pulling the whole thing or this thing being a monster. It really should have been a monster. And not tiny wheel Daughters of Cain looking thing. This is a Daughters of Cain model. It's okay. And you will be able to customize it, and I will. But I'm not particularly happy with it. To the ogres, Red the Maw is a prophet of their monstrous god. This is good. Look at this. Their monstrous god. We're finally escaping from everybody worships Gorka Morka shit lore. And we're bringing back individuality and stuff. Good. Let the orcs have their orc god. Good shit. To outsiders, he is a blood-caked avatar of primeval terror. To ogre fans and players, he's a stunning centerpiece kit. Well, then I guess I'm not an ogre fan, because I wouldn't call this stunning. It's fine. It's a fixer-upper. The double meatball in Gloomspite Gits, that's a stunning centerpiece. You know? Marathi, when she came out, kind of a stunning centerpiece. This is a fixer-upper. Golden gut plate. Why does a special butcher have a gut plate? I guess the lore is different. We got gut plates on wizards now. Stunning genetics. Is that the new meme? Stunning genetics. The brutal wizard claims to have seen the gulping god, a fact that inspires those around him. Accompanied by a pair of Mar Seeker acolytes and a Gorger to pull his strangely etched cauldron. Looks like brain coral, I think is the... Okay, it looks like brain coral, but that's not what it's meant to evoke. I bet what it's supposed to evoke is intestines. I bet that's the intent. Although for me, I went to brain coral before intestines. But hey, all right. Red can smash his way through enemy lines while also flinging spells from the Laura Gut magic. I don't know. If he's a wizard, he probably can't smash his way through lines, but I don't care. If the spells are good, then he's good. Yeah, a lot of dead space. Red dead space. Yeah, it could just be brains too, yeah. And then the butcher. Proper big boy this. And can we show the before and after? Searching. Let's show the before and after real quick, okay? Look at this. Look at this fine cast guy. Made in the year of our Lord, I don't even know. Can we go 3 deep? I'm going 3 deep. Where's the one with like his teeth are like sticking out of his head like a... Was it a main character? Did it have a name? Oh, here it is. Oh, no. All right. I found it. Open image in new tab. There it is, dude. There is also a different one that's even worse, but we'll deal with that later. Get it away. Scrag the Slaughterer, that's it, okay. Okay, so that guy, we'll bring him up when we get to the dude. I guess we'll scroll up. Okay, so this is the new, okay, Red the Maw. Slaughtermaster with thing. Oh, hell yeah. Behold. This is the direct upgrade. There's nothing in the middle, okay? It goes from this to this. So, yeah, the new one it's a little underwhelming as a centerpiece in my opinion. However, progress was made. I am of course joking. There is a I think a different guy. No, it is that one. Never mind. There's nothing in between. It is that guy. Damn. Anyway, scrolling down. These guys look good. Just big and fat and scary. It's just a lot of skin. You're going to have to like skin. Just like the old days. Following the wake of Red the Maw comes the Butchers. These blood-smeared shamans channel the gastromantic magic of their deity as they wander the mortal realms in search of meat for their pot. Speaking of which, just take a look inside and tell us whether you're still feeling hungry. I'm ready for big dinner. I don't know about you guys. And then the Creevers. Finally, for now, dude, we have the Cleavers. The elite infantry unit can smash its way through any enemy lines, citation needed, and have an arcane appetite, making them especially good at carving up wizards and priests, the ideal ingredients for their meat masters' pots. If it's like one of those fucking, if you kill a wizard unit afterwards, you can like absorb an endless spell or something. Anyway, I can't. No, we're staying positive. We're staying positive. If you are only within 12 inches of a wizard with an artifact of power, and it's not a double turn. Anyway, the kit can alternatively be built as Gut Seers, warriors who march into battle belching aether disrupting chants. They're conduits of gut magic, capable of supporting the wizards in your army thanks to their faith and grisly acts of divination. And they're all 2-year-olds who just picked something up, and they just want to show you what it is. Things a bit sartorious with meat. Now I'm thinking of what red could have been, thinking of that one OBR center diorama guy, but ogreified. That's kind of, I think, what they think they did. Anyway, let's see. Psi detected here. He's just marching around. Guy's got like a hook bone or something in his jaw there. Hard to eat. They said you can spell portal your casting range through the Gut Seers, if I recall correctly. Okay. Rather my spells be a decent range to start with, but look, we're staying positive. We're staying positive. Fuck. Ogre Tribes Battle Tome. The Ogre Tribes Battle Tome will also be available outside of the Army box, alongside a smaller format Gamers Edition. Smaller format gamer? What do you mean by that? This is the Ogre Army, brother. We are large format gamers. And we got a big guy with a dumb face. And then one dude in the back here. They got some mountains. We're experimenting with having backgrounds on the cover. You like to see it. And then this dude in a kind of spoiling the centerpiece, probably. Hopefully it's really cool. Whichever version of the Battle Tome you get, it's packed with lore that delves further into the background of the ogres and their deity, artwork, and inspirational miniatures photography. It also contains rules for lots of new units. New units, including a whole new subset of the Ogre Tribes race known as the Maw Seeklers, who are led by Red. We'll have even more new ogre units to show you soon. Ogre units, plural. Okay, the units, plural, dude. It's still alive. I'll never be free of the hope. Sheesh. Okay. In fact, you may just get a little tease of one if you go back and rewatch the video. We saw it the first time. It's the rhino thing. And it's a tease of one. Of one. Plural. Okay. This post has been fact-checked by true, fat, wide gamers. All right. Cool. The Gutbuster side definitely needed this, and they got it, and I'm happy for them, and a lot of it looks pretty cool. I'm giving it mostly a thumbs up. A lot of this stuff can be fixed by head swaps. Do not like the Mournfang faces. Possible there might be some good heads. We'll see. For alternatives, this is looking a little barren. I guess I expected more. And the oldest, shittiest, fine castiest stuff got quality, you know, modern sculpt updates. That's good. If Beast Claw is basically retired, will you play the Iron Guts? Yeah, probably. You know? If 5th edition is good and Beast Claw just gets flushed down the toilet, I don't mind playing normal ogres as long as they're cool and big. And these are cool and big, except for a problem or two. But bro, that's what kit bashing is for. That's what the hobby part is for. Rules are up in Discord. I'm gonna give it a look-see. Might as well. Rip Firebelly. Yeah, am I crazy in thinking that one of the units they will be showing has to be Lead Belchers? Because I'm going to be honest, the Lead Belchers were the thing I was most excited to see on the Gutbuster side, right? So, where did you post the rules? In Giga? In Giga? This army has been fat-checked by real Gur patriots. I mean, it's probably an AOS discussion, right? All Beast Cav, 7 attacks a model just like now, 4s and 2s just like now, Rend 2 damage 3, and Rend 1 damage 3 if on the charge, but companion. Enemy units do not count as having charged while they are in combat with this unit. Good anti-charge. It's what they have right now, ish. And then Shock and Awe. Well, okay, Shock and Gore, Vidal. With this unit charge, pick an enemy unit in combat with it be on target, roll a die on a 3-up. Ugh. For the rest of the turn, subtract 1 from wound rolls for the target's attacks. I mean, if you're planning on getting stuck in, I'm planning on just fucking killing stuff, though. And it's random. And it's only on the singular turn that they have charged. And it's only one of the units. So if you charge 2 units, you can put this on one of them and try to kill the other, I guess. 10-inch move is an improvement. It used to be 9. But it's actually a down improvement because it used to be 9+. And then before that, it used to be run and charge, but whatever. No ranged, no shoot, no unit champion. No big gun. No flag guys or anything like that. These could be the Spearhead rules, perhaps, or something. I don't know if these guys would even appear in something like Spearhead, but coping a lot. All right, Rad the Maw. 18-4 with a 5-up. It's pretty good. Yeah, 2 hoops to jump through plus a die roll. It's shit. Check Giga. Oh, is there a better version on Giga? Oh, here we go. Yeah, true. Yeah, just a higher res version of not great. Rules writing. All right, and then we got Rad the Mar. Yeah, 4-up, 5-up is good. Nice and durable. Move 6, very slow. But it is I mean, it's a buff wagon. All the buff wagons are supposed to be slow. 5 attacks, 4s and 2s, 2-3. Kind of, he's kind of slamming. And then 8 4s and 2s, 2-2. Okay, he's kind of slamming a little bit. Wizard 2 becomes battle damaged. You just lose 3 of your bat attack. That's pretty good. A slammer hero in this economy. From the depths of the cauldron, pick a visible, friendly, non-hero Ogre Tribes unit, wholly within 12. Damn, we used to have Holy 18 on a lot of our command stuff. It looks like that's getting... The noose is tightening. Target can immediately use Eat 'em Alive as if it were the end of the turn and it were eligible to do so. Okay, but what does Eat 'em Alive do? I guess we'll look. I think they posted it briefly, so I'll check that out too. And then the Maw opens for 7. Visible, friendly, Maw Holy within 12. If the target is not in combat, it can move D3 plus 3, but must end the move no further from the nearest enemy that is visible. So you have to move towards. Cannot move into combat, okay. If the target is in combat, inflict D3 mortal damage on each enemy unit in combat with the target. Then heal D3 the target. If the target is a Maw Seekler's unit, instead inflict just 3 and heal just 3, okay. Each enemy unit in combat. Oh. And you don't have to roll a 3-up. I mean, you still have to cast the spell, but... Okay, he doesn't do a lot. He's a wizard, I suppose. That's what he does. A lot of empty space in this war scroll. Could be used for more abilities. Let's see what Eat 'em Alive does. Faction rules. End of any turn. Eat 'em alive. Pick a friendly ogre unit that used a fight ability that targeted a unit excluding faction terrain this turn to use this ability. So it's one guy. Then you can pick an enemy unit in combat with it to be the target. Okay, so this only works if you fought and they are alive and you are alive and it's at the end of turn and it's one guy. The same enemy unit cannot be picked to be the target of this ability more than once per turn. How could it? I thought you can only pick one. Maybe you can use this ability more than once? I'll read on. Well, it's the unit specifically, not you, so maybe we can do this more than once. But we cannot double up. You can't take 2 bites out of the same apple. That's physically impossible. D3 mortal damage on the target. Hey, it just works. Holy shit. Well, that's an improvement. It actually works. And it's not 1 per turn. D3, then pick one of the following rules to apply to that ogre for having eaten, and then you have the level up mechanic from Prince Longdong and a bunch of other stuff. If any of these effects already apply to it, you can pick a different effect to replace the current effect. Oh, no stacking? Okay. It's cool that you don't have to randomly do it, and it's cool that you don't have to roll a 3-up. I think it's harmless to let these stack, because one unit very rarely just trades with 5 different things, you know, in the same game. But hey, alright. Subtract 1 from the rend characteristic weapons used for attacks that target this unit. Okay. Exotic giblets. Giblets, even. Subtract 1 from ward rolls for damage points inflicted by that unit's combat attacks made with non-companion weapons. -1 wards. Nice. Silver bullet. Add 2 to control characteristic. Nah. Although, this is the time to do it, right? Like, to ever have a rule like this that cares about control characteristic, the time to do it is at the end of a turn after you just dealt damage, and then you like look, you're like, okay, well, it's the end of my opponent's turn. Is he about to control this? If so, then I can just choose Steaming Brains and you lose victory points. So normally I complain about control characteristic abilities because they all suck. But this one here, as an option, you do get to see everything first before you make that decision. So you could just swipe something. And notice it's the unit's control characteristics, so kind of big. Crunchy Bones. Units' melee weapons have crit 2 hits. If the unit's melee weapons already have crit 2 hits, they have crit mortal instead. Big. Unit can use charge abilities even if you used run. Okay, run and charge. Slick Innards, dude. And the Mystery Meat. Subtract 1 from the power level of enemy units while they are in combat with that unit to a minimum of 0 for anti-casters. Designer's note, only one of these effects can apply to the same unit at the same time. No fun allowed, you can't stack them. Unless specified otherwise. Note that Steaming Brains affects control characteristic, not control score. So, run and charge, really good. Crit 2 hits, really good. Crit mortal, really, really good. Mystery Meat, probably never. Anti-ward effects, sometimes really good, other times nothing. -1 from incoming rend, actually decent. And even the control characteristic one, like there are situations where you choose that and your opponent straight up loses victory points immediately after you chose that. Which could, you know, this could game stealer here. Anyway, cool. And it seems everybody can do this. And you don't have to roll a goddamn 3 up. That's nice. I'll read the second half later, but I just want to go back to something here. Hey, remember that Eat 'em Alive ability? Target can immediately use Eat 'em Alive as if it were the end of the turn, and it were eligible to do so. So if you were looking for run and charge in the Ogre army, you got to take a 500-point centerpiece, but you can do it. Now, were you looking for run and charge in the Ogre army? Fuck no. Every butcher does that automatically, no rolling required, and you can take as many of them as you want. Is that going away? I sure hope not, but it is, probably. This book is going to be a massive downgrade in power. Or maybe it'll be fun. And then once per turn army, any charge phase, bull charge. Warhammer Tribes unit. Charge turn is not used rampage. Pick an enemy in combat with it to be the target. Your opponent must move the target up to 3 inches. It can move through the combat ranges of your units and can end the move in combat. After your opponent has done so, roll a die for each model in the enemy unit. Using this ability that is within... Sorry, not the enemy unit. The unit using this ability that is within 3 inches of the target. Hey, I have an idea for 5th edition. This isn't going to change the game or really improve anything at all. I'm just thinking about readability. I feel like Games Workshop should invent a rules terminology. One word that means the unit using this ability. You know? Because we have target and we have friendly. But it'd be nice if there was some rules lingo. There was one word and it just meant the unit that is using this ability. You know, just for readability's sake. But anyway. Because sometimes it gets a little unit that target the unit using this ability that has used this ability using this ability. You know, sometimes it, you know, you lose your place a little bit. Add 1 to the roll if using this ability is a Gutbuster unit. For every 3 up, inflict 1 mortal damage. Whoop-de shit. Then the unit using this ability can make a pile-in move. If the target of this ability is still in combat with the unit using this ability, see what I mean? Then the target of this ability must be picked as the target of the pile-in move. Your opponent may not be able to move the models in the target unit, or may choose to leave them where they are. But the target still counts as having moved for rules purposes. Okay. So they may choose to leave them where they are. So the thing that, remember when they said they were talking about, like, this is a good way of getting your opponent off an objective? That's false. Your opponent will simply choose to leave them where they are. So it will not push them off the objective. In fact, the only reason your opponent would ever choose to move them, because notice it's up to 3 inches. The only time your opponent would ever choose to move their guys is if it was disadvantageous for you, their opponent, to do so. So sort of like gives your opponent the option of fucking you over if able. But you get an extra pile-in, so I suppose there's that. And per model in your unit, you have like you probably do 1 mortal, which is okay. If they don't move, they get mortals from the ogres in the back. I mean, yeah, but it's like 3 of them, of which you're going to fail a roll on. I would stay on the objective to take like 2 mortals, like whatever, normally. All right, Bolt Charge, not in love with. It's okay, but it's a shitload of words for a fairly simple ability that gives your opponent a chance to kind of screw your positioning a little bit. I would have cooked with this one longer. And Eat 'em Alive is very flavorful, but historically speaking in the game, level up mechanics are usually bad. You still have a double pile-in, which is nice, but my favorite part of piling in is rolling all my attacks afterwards. And so when you're not doing that, the extra pile-in when you're playing is typically like, I'll pile in a little bit. Okay, there we go. Like it's okay. We still do have our impact hits, but they're kind of minor. I suppose they're minor in 4th, but anyway, tier ranking of battle traits. The fact that everyone can just do this, Eat 'em Alive, and it just works. The stacking thing doesn't really matter. It ain't Lumineth battle traits, that's for damn sure. I think they're pretty decent for 4th edition. I'd give them like a C-. That's very good. Very good. Better than I was expecting. Yeah, I'll give them a C-. Pleasantly surprised. Also, this whole purple... Wait, does the purple thing happen if you just fucking kill them, though? You can pick an enemy unit in combat with it to be the target. Then pick one of the following effects to apply to the friendly ogre unit for the rest of the battle. So does this mean, let's say I have 8 Iron Guts, and I smash some Lumineth off the table, and they're dead. Me targeting them for the D3 bite, I notice it says can, and it doesn't have an intervening if clause or anything. So I think you do just get the bonus, even if the guys are dead, which thematically makes sense to me. Like, of course you get it. You're eating their corpses or whatever, right? They confirmed it on stream? Okay. I was too busy being excited. If any, so it applies? Yeah. Okay. Good. Then it stays at a C- and doesn't drop to a D+. Nice. That's pretty nice for 4th edition as far as rules. He's literally throwing the meat at people in 12. I mean, he's packing the meat into a football shape and doing a Hail Mary, throwing it downtown. In fact, these guys are catching it. Like, you think they're holding it up? No, they're catching it after he's throwing it to them. If I want to be a little negative here on the rules, it looks like we're losing things like run and charge auras for no cost run and charge auras that just work for our entire army, and replacing it with a centerpiece we have to buy to get it onto one guy. So losing stuff we used to have and getting it back, except worse, and jumping through a bunch of hoops to get it. So that's a little unfortunate. But that is the way. That's what 4th edition is all about. Taking your 3rd edition rules and making them worse and having you jump through 7 hoops to get a worse version of it back while also being more expensive. But that's the game. It's fine. In 5th edition, they'll fix it. One thing are looking the same? Slightly worse, maybe? Also, we're slower now. We lost speed. No more 2-inch move. Every edition, we get slower. Models look good. Why is this guest so negative? I'm being fair and balanced. Fats don't care about your feelings. I'm playing some Iron Guts. Ardent Throne, thanks for becoming a HeyWoah enjoyer on YouTube. Appreciate it. TYVM.
Twitch Prime.
Toast Senpai, thanks for the big primer on Twitch. +2 control characteristic in the battle trait might mean base ogre OC goes down as well. Yeah, that's true. That is how they do things. But that's fine. I truly didn't really ever care about control score for the most part anyway. This is painting with a wide brush, and of course there's exceptions, but in general, the way you control objectives is by killing your opponent. And bean counting with OC is when you fail a giant easy roll and everyone's dice spaghetti just flies out, and you gotta, like, figure out what's going on. And in that respect, it is like the perfect time to choose +2. When you're looking at your opponent and you're like, well, you would control it by 3 this turn, and you would score, so I'll choose Steaming Brains, and now you don't, and you don't get the points. So, like, it's the perfect time to have an ability like that go off, which is nice. Yeah, with Countercharge, it is harder to kill everything always in 4th edition. That is true. Really don't get the charge ability. They say must move, then say they can, don't move. So the reason is your opponent must move, and then here's the poison pill, up to 3 inches. Up to 3 inches. So I will move up to 3. And the up part of that up to 3 I choose will be 0. Now, it still counts as having moved, but you're still on the objective. So that's why that happens. You must move up to 3, and 0 is a legitimate choice for up to 3. Toast Senpai, first time chatter on Twitch, finally going to catch a big stream. Thanks for EU time zone reveal GW. It's their game. It can happen in their time. No big deal. Funny enough, they could move on to the objective even more. Yeah. like I said, it the bolt charge ability, there are 2 options, okay? This is how it's going to work. You have 2 choices. Your opponent either does not move, or they move in a way that's bad for you. And you're giving them that option. I love Browbeat. But hey, alright. Good shit. It finally happened. It's ogres. It's all the Gutbuster stuff like I thought and predicted, and indeed really needed to happen. I didn't see a Stonehorn or a Thundertusk, and so I'm sad. The centerpiece is a fixer-upper, but they teased a giant rhino thing, which hopefully is very cool. Not cool. I don't like the Mournfang faces, but it is a fine upgrade, actually. Maybe they'll grow on me. Maybe I can do something with them. We'll see. Overall, I give it a 5 out of 7. Chat, thanks for being here. This was, by the way, probably pre-recorded. Perhaps. But much better reveal than last time, tech-wise. Last time, somebody in a suit might have noticed and had a talking to, because we were minutes and minutes and minutes on end of no audio, fake audio, accidentally rerunning the same preview video more than once, stream going down, like, it played start to finish, and it just happened. So that's pretty good. Also, the old world shit looked great. Some of the 30K stuff looked cool. I'm going to be honest, and I did not pay attention to anything else that happened. Good shit. Absolute minimum standards of professionalism reached. That's true. Yeah. Hey, all right. Join me Monday for another stream. EverQuest Legends is not. I hear everyone leaving the audience. Chill. EverQuest Legends beta is coming out on the 1st. I'll be no-lifing it. How can you no-life something when you already don't have a life? Well, you can go into the negative. Don't worry. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. I'll see you in the next one. I'm sure 5th edition will be great. Matt Rose is doing something else. They promoted him up the chain, so he's going to wear a suit now and talk to business leaders instead of design AOS. That's going to be somebody else. Hopefully that person likes fun and options and list building. Big win there. And leave all the stuff that Matt Rose does well, like collecting information and systems and data, all that stuff. Did a great job. But I would like the game fun also, you know? Thanks for the subs and the bits and the primes. 5 out of 7 reveal show. I'm going to drop everybody off. I mean, you know where I'm going to drop you off. So, don't even try it. See you guys Monday. Big. Thanks for being here. Dude, she's playing the mountain game. Oh my god. Get ready for some MS Dawas.